back to an episode by Brenworld to, yes, the end of season results video as usual, as we do at the end of every season. So yeah, so for this season, it is Season 10 or Season X, which is what, of course, Fortnite actually officially called it. If you're wondering why there wasn't that many Battle Royale videos like on the Batman event and stuff, that's because most of those for Battle Royale and stuff, I will just include like during the clips and pictures that I always do at the end. I'll have like all that stuff at the end. And I just didn't feel like it really needed like a whole video because there wasn't like a game mode or anything. It was just some other stuff. Um, but also this season, I really like have started playing Save the World. Like I've been talking about saying that I've been playing Save the World more and more than Battle Royale. And now at this point, really all I play Battle Royale for is to complete my challenges and to get cosmetics. So other than that, I'm pretty much always playing Save the World. But we will go over the Battle Royale stuff first as usual, like always. And yeah, so as you guys know, these videos are always super long, so let's try getting right into it. So also if you're wondering why this video is earlier, because usually I don't post these videos until after the season itself is actually over, usually like a day or two into the next season. And that's because this season is pretty darn weird because every other season has ended on a Wednesday, but this season is actually ending on a Sunday, this Sunday. And on top of that, you guys know I always do videos on the events, and this time the event is on the last day of the season. It's supposed to be the event and then go right into downtime. So usually there's like 5 days or so in between the event and the final day of the season, so I can stay on my schedule Monday and Friday, but not this time. So I will explain it even more on the next day vlog coming very soon. So basically I just am filming this video earlier, um, and I'm gonna post this Friday for me, and then I will film the event video, of course, on Sunday when it happens, and I will post that the next day on Monday just to stay on schedule. And to kind of work with it, because also they kind of messed up my schedule because it was supposed to end last Sunday, and all of a sudden they extended it by a week for no one knows why. Uh, the only other time they've ever extended a season was in Season 7. That's why I'm saying I don't understand why they have overtime challenges every single season since Season 7. Because the only time they actually are overtime challenges was Season 7 and Season X, because it actually went overtime. So since I am filming this a little bit earlier, of course the overtime challenges aren't fully out yet. Only like the first 4 are. So as you can see, I got all those 3 done. I'm still working on this one, but then those ones aren't available until tomorrow. So I'll show everything that you will unlock for those. So first off, I will be unlocking this loading screen, Season X. As you can see there, just like the loading screen, which is very cool. Definitely like the colors in the loading screen for this season. One of my favorite like seasonal loading screens. And then basically you unlock it doesn't show it right here for whatever reason, but you unlock the solid gold version for Yonder, the reverse disco for Sparkle Supreme, and then the red Eternal Voyager, which I will be unlocking tomorrow, along with the loading screen and whatnot. So that's the overtime challenges. This season are actually called Out of Time. So as you can see, now there is 3 days left of the season, because I was about to film this video because there was 4 days, but then all of a sudden, literally the next day, they extended it by a week, because that was the update day. So let's just get it right into it. So for skins, starting off with the 2 tier 1 skins, you got Catalyst, which yes, it is the much hyped up female Drift. Everybody has been dying for this skin, and they finally did it. So you guys know Drift from Season 5 here. Yes, there is a female one finally named Catalyst. Description is Alter the Paradigm, part of the Drift set. Here are the styles. So first off, you got this one. Kind of looks like another SJW or something. So not a huge fan of that style. But I guess kind of matches Drift with his mohawk and whatnot. And then you got the kind of hoodie version. And then you got the cloaked version, or the overcoat, and then the overcharged, which is very cool. You got the lightning from the eyes, and then you got this really cool kind of pattern going on inside the cloak there too. But then this one, there's actually styles. As you guys know, this is the regular like Drift style, the Rift Storm. So you get that one. So basically just female Drift right there. But then you got the black version, and then you got my favorite version, the Snowstorm, which is very, very cool. I absolutely love the skin. I haven't used it much, but I do want to use it more. Definitely like that skin quite a bit. I think they did a very good job on that. And a lot of people are asking for those same styles on Drift, because as right now he just has the different styles, or the different stages, but he doesn't have the 3 different styles. And I think I would like Drift even more if we got all those cool styles. Uh, but yeah, so then next up is, for the first time since Season 6, I believe, this is the first season since Season 6 that there hasn't been 2 legendary skins for Tier 1, because the other Tier 1 skin is X-Lord, and he's epic. So yeah, so basically, if you guys don't know, this season, the Battle Pass skins are basically previous Battle Pass skins, but basically revamped from a different timeline or whatever. So yeah, so of course I've only been playing since mid-season 4, so I only have some of these, like the OG versions, of course, for like I have the original technique and the original drift and whatnot. But yeah, so next up is X-Lord, and I will say every single one of these skins I like better than the original, and you can't really say, oh, it's probably because you just don't have half of them. I actually do. The only ones that I don't, because I mean I do have technique and I have the original DJ Yonder and drift and whatnot. But the only ones that I like their original better than the new ones is actually DJ Yonder, believe it or not. I know everybody like hates DJ Yonder, but as you guys know, ever since Season 6, he's been one of my favorite skins. I absolutely love DJ Yonder still. And he's very, very close tied to his Yonder counterpart. Uh, but I just still like regular DJ Yonder better, but not by too much. So overall, I think they did a lot better with these skins than the originals. So yeah, so here's X-Lord. Still does come they've been adding more and more styles to the Battle Pass skins every season, and now this season there's just so much styles and variations and whatnot. So yeah, so first off you have stage Road Ready, and yeah, so basically it's like X-Lord but kind of just more modern looking, I guess, kind of more clean. And I like this style quite a bit, actually. It's probably my second favorite style. But then you have like the classic looking one, the rust colored. So yeah, so that's kind of like the closest you can get to looking like regular Rust Lord. And then you got my favorite color for him, which is the crimson, which is, I mean, basically rust, but bright red. And then you got my least favorite color, the hunter. It's just like a weird baby poop green and whatnot. But yeah, so then you got the scavenger where I mean, he's just like, he's got his shirt off, he's all ripped, and he's got these tattoos, and then just like this really cool body armor. And I do like this stage better. And so yeah, so you got black, rust. My favorite style overall, the scavenger with the crimson. That's my favorite style right there. And then hunter right there. So yeah, so that is X-Lord, pretty darn cool. Description is ransack every dimension, part of the Storm Scavenger set. And then next up is Tilted Technique. So yeah, so here she is. And of course they all still have like poses and stuff since they started that like in Season 7 or whatever, as you will notice. And the description says tag your it, part of the Aerosol Assassin set. So they're all still like part of the same sets that the rest of their stuff always has been, but yeah. So basically you got this one, she's just like wearing a tank top or whatever, and she's got like a little bandana or whatever. So yeah, so you got the bandana stage and the hoodie stage. I like the hoodie stage better. But yeah, so you got that. And then you got the black color, the street style color, and the wild style color. This is my least favorite color. I just think it looks like a sucker that got dropped in some sawdust or whatever, something. And then this one's okay, but my favorite one is definitely just the original black one. Yeah, then you got those ones. So yeah, but that's my favorite style right there. So yeah, so also real quick, you'll notice that these might seem way more zoomed in. And basically they made some updates to the, at least skins part of the locker, because everything else is pretty much the same. But the skins, they actually, in one update, they actually added, so like the or not the concept art, but the like poses that they have in the or in the item shop. Now that's actually how they look in the locker, which I actually like a lot. They're not just like all just like little portrait pictures of them. They're actually like them all posed and whatnot. But for whatever reason, as you can see, all the Season X Battle Pass skins are just how they used to be. They're just kind of a portrait picture. So I don't know if they're going to change that, but I guess we'll find out. But yeah, because I know like the weekly seasonal loading screens, they used to just say like #1 stuff, and then when the next season started, they would actually like show the icon in the locker. But yeah, so you can just see all the skins have like all their poses, which I actually really like. But then about 2 updates after that, then all of a sudden they magnified the icons by like ×10. So yeah, so that I mean, there used to be, you used to be able to fit like almost 20 or 30 skins on one slide, but now I mean I can just scroll down forever, and it makes it like I don't have an insane amount of skins, but it makes it really look like I have an insane amount. So yeah, so the people that have like every skin in the game, I can't even imagine how long their scrolling bar is. Um, but yeah, so next up is Yonder, right here, of course, the updated version of DJ Yonder. So everybody thought this was like a pirate version, but it's not. It's kind of just like a Michael Jackson kind of looking guy. But yeah, so he has a lot of styles. So first off, you got the stage dapper with headgear, helmet, and color black. So yeah, so it's kind of like a overcoat type thing, but it's very cool because you can see all those EQ waves or whatever. When you emote with all these, they actually react, and on this one, I believe they turn red. This one, I can't really remember. Actually, I can show you all of them real quick. So you can see dances. As you can see, it turns red on that one. And then you got this one turns kind of reddish, yellowish, and greenish. And then this one turns like reddish, yellowish, and greenish. And then you got this one where it turns like a kind of Mountain Dew Baja Blast turquoise or whatever. So yeah, so then next up you have, of course, the flare, which I like better on all the styles. I just really like how he looks, and he's got the bow tie and whatnot. But yeah, that is that. So next up you got him unmasked. Yes, it is DJ Yonder unmasked. Kind of looks like Jason Derulo or The Weeknd. I think more Jason Derulo now. But yeah, so that's my least favorite style. One of the things I really like about DJ Yonder is how he's very Fortnite, and he's got the like robot llama head helmet thing. But yeah, so basically it's the same thing, just with all the different styles and whatnot. And then you got the crown style, which was my least favorite style, or my second least favorite style. I did like the one without the crown, but the crown has grown on me. I just didn't like how there's that one tall spike, and it was kind of uneven, which I still don't really like, but I just think it adds more to him and makes him more unique now. And yeah, I actually like it the best now. But yeah, so then you got that style with all the crowns. Of course, for the colors, you got black, spectrum, formal white, and solid gold. This is the style that you unlock from the out of time challenges. But yeah, so this is the one that's, of course, based off the original DJ Yonder with like that greenish and then like the rainbow EQ waves or whatever. But yeah, so you just got all that, and this is actually my favorite style right here. The flare with the crowned helmet and formal white. I just think it looks so clean, and this one is like just behind DJ Yonder, the original DJ Yonder, and how much I like it. But yeah, so description is party like there's no tomorrow, part of the twin turntable set. And you guys will see throughout this video that I've ever since season 6, I've just been begging for like a full twin turntable set because I absolutely love DJ Yonder and everything with the set. I actually hate DJ Bob, so don't need anything else with her. But the rest of the twin turntable set has got to be one of my favorite sets in the game. I just love how colorful it is and just how unique and cool it is. In this season, it definitely I mean, we got the glider from the overtime challenges in season 7, or the 14 days of Fortnite or whatever it was. We did get that glider, which was one of my favorite gliders for a while there. But other than that, we didn't really get anything. But this season, we got a contrail, we got another skin, we got a glider, yeah, the contrail, pickaxe, tons of stuff, as guys will see. But yeah, so then next up is Sparkle Supreme, of course, the updated variant of Sparkle Specialist. So yeah, so first off, you have the hairstyles. You got Classic Cut and Bob Cut. I wore this for one game, and holy cow, I just hate this so much. I don't know why Fortnite has made a couple skins with the Bob Cut. I don't know how anybody could like this, but I really just don't like the Bob Cut, like how it just looks in the back there, and I don't know, it just looks like she got slimed, like her hair is just slimy or something. And that one strand just hanging down right there. I just absolutely hate the bob cut. But yeah, so that's all the styles with the bob cut there. But yeah, so first off, you got the black color, pretty basic there. So it's basically the same head as, like, head style and stuff as the original Sparkle Specialist, but then she's got this new pose in this new clothing and whatnot. So yeah, so then you got Disco, basically the closest you can get to the original Sparkle Specialist there. And then you got my favorite style right here, Starlight, which as you can see, it is just crazy, super animated, and it actually goes along with emotes. As you can see, it actually changes colors. That's like my favorite one right there. As you can see, it actually changes like colors and designs every time you do a different emote. So that is just so cool. I didn't even think about it doing that. And so does this one actually, which is the slow dance style, which as you can see is kind of just like slowly turning lights. But as you can see, when you dance, it goes a little bit faster and like really just covers it. So that's my second favorite style. But and then you got the one that I just unlocked right before this video, which is the reverse disco, which I think is probably the worst style out of all the overtime challenges this season, just because it's not really unique, and I think they could have done better with some other skin, battle pass skin or whatever, but they decided to do this for whatever reason, and it's literally just disco, but instead of the white sparkly pants and the disco shirt, now she has the white sparkly shirt and the disco pants. So yeah, in either way, I still think that this one looks better anyway. So yeah, so don't really know why they decided to do that, but alright. So yeah, so then you got Eternal Voyager, one of my favorite skins, if not my favorite skin from this season's Battle Pass, wherever he is. He's based off of course, or he's the new variant of course, Dark Voyager, from Season 3. But yeah, so he starts off, he actually has like a really unique pose too, he's actually floating here. But yeah, so it says, from beyond the shadows of the galaxy's edge, part of the Space Explorer set. And I don't know if I read the description for Sparkle Supreme, but yeah, it says the Supreme Queen of Sparkle, part of the Fortnite Fever set. But yeah, so you got Eternal Voyager. So yeah, so he starts off as this like just kind of green astronaut thing, and it's really cool, like the little like animated feature kind of right there, and then these like broken off straps from his like space tank or whatever. Um, but then you got this style where his mask basically comes up, and he's got this style, which the Chinese version or whatever, they're not allowed to have like skulls in video games and whatnot. So the Chinese version, actually, that little head in there is the only thing they use. And for the skull version, that it's the skull instead of that skull, it's actually just that head floating. Just a little fun fact if you haven't seen it. But yeah, this is probably my least favorite style. Or probably my least favorite style is probably this one. Just I don't know. It just his face looks weird there. But yeah, for this one, probably this one, just because I mean you can't really like see his head, and then especially when you're like this, like you're never gonna even see that, and you might as well just play this one. But yeah, and then you got this one, which is very cool. It's not like flames. I say it's kind of like a lava lamp kind of design. But yeah, as you can see, the stars actually like stay in place when you move it, so it's really cool looking there. And it's just like a floating skull with like lava lamp kind of galaxy looking stuff. But yeah, that's very, very cool. But that's not my favorite style. My favorite style is actually this one, which is the blue. As you can see, it's kind of like a dark bluish, purplish that goes into like the cyan, of course, my favorite color, and the cyan skull. And yeah, it also changes like the design on his overall coat. But yeah, it's not actually called blue, it's called Cerulean, which kind of sounds like a Star Trek tribe or whatever, alien race. But yeah, I don't know if that's an actual like shade of blue or if Fortnite made that up or what. But yeah, and then you got the styles with him there as well. And then the one that I will unlock tomorrow, of course, just haven't unlocked it yet since I had to film this video earlier, is the red style here, which of course it kind of looks like some hype beast, kind of like Gucci looking one. But yeah, so red and gold there. And then you got this one, pretty cool with red eyes. But this one, this is still my favorite style, but this one's probably gonna have to be my second. Like he stands out a lot, but I don't really mind like his gold skull and everything, and just like that orangish reddish lava lamp kind of stuff. Pretty darn cool. So yeah, very cool there. And for the first time ever, from the overtime challenges, you don't just unlock the styles for the skins, as you can see here, but for Eternal Voyager, you actually unlock the rest of the stuff for his like set. So you actually unlock his glider in red, and the pickaxes in red, and his backbling in red. So that's pretty cool, but we'll show those in a second. So next up is Ultima Night, the tier 100 skin. Of course, the play on fan favorite skin, the Black Knight, the first top tier skin, not tier 100, but tier 60, which is or tier 60 or 70, I can't remember right now for whatever reason. But yeah, a lot of people love that skin. I'm not. I mean, he's a cool skin, but I don't see how people love him that much. He's pretty basic and not too unique or anything. Like he was cool back then because it was like there wasn't many skins and he was probably the coolest skin back then. But nowadays it's just I don't see how people could like Black Knight over tons of these skins in the game. But yeah, so here's Ultima Night, which I actually like quite a bit. Um, Not really this first style. This first style I say kind of looks like a unicorn. I don't know why his helmet's like that. I was searching up like old knight helmets and stuff on Google Images, and I could not find a single helmet that looked anything like that. I saw some helmets with like kind of spikes, like kind of a spike on their helmet, but there wasn't anything that really looked like that, so I don't really know where they got that from. And it's just kind of weird. It looks a little better in game, but I don't know. And then he's got these giant shotgun shells on his shoulder blade, but yeah, I don't know. He's definitely cool and has a lot of detail and unique, and he's got this cool like breathing thing he does, as you can see there. But just not insane, or I just don't like it that much. But yeah, and his description is get the last word, part of the Fortnite set. Um, and yeah, so that is the Ultima stage, and then you also have the Origin stage. So of course he looks more like Black Knight, just kind of like a beefed up version of him. But yeah, so you got that one in gold, and then you got it in silver, and then in red right there. And then so then you got the Origin, so that's the gold one, and then the silver, and then the red, which the red actually was my least favorite style, and then the silver, and then the gold is my favorite. But now, believe it or not, the red is actually my favorite style. This is my favorite style right here, the Origin with the red. Um, just because, as you can see, these gold ones, or the gold and the silver, like on the back here, it's just like black, and there's no detail, and it just kind of looks weird, and I'm not a huge fan of it. And you can see same thing with the silver. But then the red, it actually has like designs on the back and stuff, and he's got like these like thigh pads or whatever there. And I just think he has a lot more detail, and I really like the shredded red kind of look on him. And I think his battle scar also looks a lot better because the gold, it's like that kind of brownish color, but it kind of matches. But then the silver, it's still brown, and it really kind of stands out there. Um, but yeah, so red is my favorite. Definitely not my favorite tier 100 skin, but he's definitely without a doubt better than Lux. Lux is still the worst top tier skin. But yeah, I'd still say that I do like Ragnarok, the Ice King, and Vendetta over him. Vendetta is still my favorite skin in the game, of course. So yeah, so that is Ultima Night there. So next up, yeah, that is all the Battle Pass skins from the seasons. Now on to like skins I bought from the shop or whatever. And actually this season, of course, you guys know I've really been only buying stuff with Save the World V-Bucks. But literally the only things that I didn't buy with Save the World V-Bucks this season was bundles, and everything else was bought completely with Save the World V-Bucks. Um, so yeah, so first skin, this came out, I believe, on the first day of the season or whatever. It was on the first loading screen, and again, like last season, this season's loading screens tease like upcoming shop skins. So yeah, so you got Brute Navigator, of course, the famed Brute. From the second I saw it on the trailer for this season, like when downtime started or whatever, I was like the first person that I heard say this is going to be overpowered. No one's going to like the Brute. It's going to be the next big thing that people are going to say to Vault, just like the Infinity Blade and the Plane and whatnot. And it was, this whole season was, I mean, #1 on trending for Twitter for like a day or two was like Vault Brute or Vault Mech or whatever like that. And they nerfed it, and then they actually, why the reason why they weren't vaulting it is because it actually like was part of the storyline. Um, and yeah, so over time they got like nerfed and stuff, and then they released a loading screen of like the visitor actually like returning and like dismantling the brutes. So then all of a sudden they got nerfed even more. And then all of a sudden the screen came up with like the brutes having a virus. So now ever since then, the brutes, they land and just explode on land. So yeah, so brutes have not been usable in the game except for like creative and whatnot since then. So yeah. But yeah, they're fun to use, but not fun to like use again the when they get used against you. But yeah, so I just thought that this was a very good uncommon skin, and I really like the carbon fiber, of course. My favorite material is carbon fiber. And yeah, just the clean like black and everything just looks really sleek. And this was like the concept for Batman. Everybody just put the Batman logo when they heard that Batman was coming to the game, and they were just saying this is gonna be a Batman skin just with the Batman logo. But yeah. So then that is the Brute logo. When it was teased at the when the like first teaser dropped, everybody thought that it was gonna be like that was the like logo for like the rocket. Um, which the rocket did return, of course. The event this Sunday is supposed to include the rocket, the meteor that's been frozen in time ever since the start of the season, and Kevin the Cube floating around with the island since its return. But yeah, so you'll have to stay tuned. Definitely watch that video because it's going to be like the biggest event video yet. I made a compilation at the beginning of like the little highlights from our best moments from every other event that we were part of, which is, of course, every single one except for the rocket event. Um, yeah, so anyway, this is the Brute Navigator. It says Precision and Determination, part of the Brute Squad set. I just like it better than the female version, because the female version actually had the bob cut too. It was just kind of under her helmet, but you could still kind of see it in, I don't know, I just like the male version a lot more on this one. Yeah. So next up is Grit, another uncommon skin, and it says the will and skill to outlast, and yeah, that's pretty much him. So it's kind of like, I almost called her Urban Assault Headhunter from her hero in Save the World, but I almost can't remember her name on Battle Royale. But you guys know the skin, the white and black skin with, it's like the girl wearing the hat, and she has that same skull. So this is kind of like, almost like the male counterpart to her. And then he's got like this kind of crosshair on his back, and then this cool helmet. And I just think he's, again, a pretty darn good uncommon skin. He's got these digital camouflage and stuff. And then you got Bronto, which I've been wanting for a little bit, because of course I do have Rex, but the other dinosaur skin, which is of course Triceratops, both of them are legendary, and then this one's like just as good, but he's rare for some reason. So I figured it was completely worth it if it's rare. I had enough V-Bucks, and I was going to buy Maven, but then I was just like, actually, I think this skin's a little more worth it. So yeah, basically it is one of the other defaults in there, as you can see his little face in there. But yeah, it's basically just another dinosaur, because everybody was saying like the dinosaurs like in the desert, there's a Triceratops, which is, and it was red just like Triceratops, and then a green T-Rex just like Rex. But then there's also a purple Brontosaurus or Diplodocus or whatever it was. Of course, everybody says it's the Allier skin from his like, oh, it's a Diplodocus clip. But yeah, it says eating plants and taking names, part of the Dino Guard set. And yeah, purple and blue, definitely like the color combo. And his little toenails or hooves or whatever they are called on dinosaurs. Yeah. So then you got the Dark Reflections pack or bundle, which was honestly one of the better bundles in the game, I think. And it also introduced the new Dark rarity, which of course you guys know Dark Bomber used to just be rare, and then her pickaxe used to be epic, and everything used to just be what rarity used to be. But now everything that's part of like the Lightning and Thunderstorm set is actually the part of the Dark rarity now, which is actually cool because that's actually the first contrail that's not rare. Every contrail has been rare, and then you got one dark one now. So they put it right above epic in between legendary. So yeah, so you can see it's kind of like it's not purple, but it's kind of like a violet color. Yeah, so first off, you got Dark Jonesy, my least favorite from the pack. I just think they're kind of trying to do like a Dark Bomber thing, but with the male version, but I don't think it worked out that well. I just think he kind of, I don't know, he just looks kind of weird. I'm not a huge fan of him. But yeah, and then he has that like tattoo that like all the defaults have, and it actually says Storm Chasers, but this one's like more cool looking. I don't know if I can like show the default. Yeah, it's not default, but you guys know the tattoo that defaults have on their arm. This is basically just like a different version of that. But yeah, so then it says he has seen beyond the darkness, and then next up is Dark Wildcard. Of course, you guys know Wildcard, still like one of my favorite skins in the game, but now this is the dark one, which I don't like as much as this one, but definitely probably my favorite skin from the bundle. But yeah, so it's Dark Wildcard. It says deal a little darkness, part of the Getaway Gang set. And yeah, as you can see, all these skins from this bundle, just like Dark Bomber, has those like animations of like the glyphs from Kevin. They actually all have that animation, which on this skin you can definitely see it because his whole suit has it, as you can see there. And then his face has those little dark things around the eyes like all these skins have. And those are kind of animated, and yeah, pretty darn cool there. And then last up, you got another Red Knight. Yes, we have 3 Red Knights now, because you got the Frozen Red Knight, the Dark Red Knight, and then regular Red Knight. So it's just like Love Ranger, you got the regular Love Ranger, Frozen Love Ranger and Fallen Love Ranger. Yeah, so now you got Dark Red Knight, says Protector of the Infinite Realm, part of the Fortnite set, and yeah, I definitely do like the red fading off to purple there and everything, but I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of the horns. I didn't really like the horns on Fallen Love Ranger, but at least they were like kind of small, and I think they've kind of grown on me. These might kind of grow on me, but I don't know, I just think they're, like, how they're curly and stuff, it just looks like she's trying to cosplay as some weird devil bull type thing. But yeah, Sun's animated, of course, there, and so are the rest of her. So yeah, so that's the Dark Reflections bundle there. Um, yeah, so next up is the Scientist, which is the secret skin for this season, which this is about the time that I would go over all this stuff. So yeah, so of course it was always weekly challenges, and then last season was actually the fort bites, and this season is the missions. And I will say this season, oh, there's a default, that tattoo. But yeah, I will say that this season has probably honestly been my least favorite season I have ever played. And I've been playing since mid-season 4, of course. And yeah, I just, like, from the start of the season, of course, you had the brutes in the game, which were very annoying. But honestly, the parts that I was more annoyed with is, like, from the start of the season, like, the only map changes you had were the meteor. Dusty Depot was back, which literally the only reason they brought it back is because people were complaining about it because they wanted their nostalgia fix. But really, you can't even like lie and say that Dusty Depot is better than Dusty Divot, because Dusty Divot literally, I mean, especially with Dusty Diner, it had like almost 20 chests combined, and Dusty Depot, literally the max spawn of chests is like 5. So yeah, I've barely landed there. The factories, I'm not too um, mad that they brought those back, because those ones I actually kind of like, because they actually have better loot than Dusty Depot itself. Yeah, so then you had that, and then the floating meteor, and then around the monster that got killed at the caddis monster that got killed during last season's event. Basically, just a whole bunch of pink swirly grass formed around that, and that's basically it. And then, of course, throughout the season, we did get the rift zones, which, like, we learned from the rocket, the rift zone was actually, like, on the booster, and that's kind of connected the whole storyline, which is kind of cool, because that's why, like, the rift zone broke off the rocket in season 4 and landed in Anarchy Acres, and that's why it got rifted away and transformed into something new. And that just kind of explains what the rift zones are and why places come and go. And basically just explained everything since season 4. Yeah, but what I also have a problem with those is every single one of the rift zones was like a cool map change, but every single one of them I pretty much absolutely hated, because Tilted Town, you couldn't build or destroy. So if you went there or landed there, chances are, like, you weren't really gonna have much mats that game, because you can't harvest mats unless if you go out of Tilted Town. And yeah, it's just kind of annoying when you're getting chased and trying to defend yourself and not even being able to build a wall. Um, and then uh, and then you got Moisty Palms, which is horrible, because of course, who doesn't like crouch up and down when they're drinking some shield or harvesting mats? So, but then every time you crouch, you don't even have to hold it down. You just randomly transform into a prop from Prop Hunt from Creative, and it's so annoying. Like, I'm just like harvesting, and then I keep on transforming into like a toolbox or a trash can or something, and it's just very, very annoying. And especially like in competitive games and stuff, I saw like people like just trying to tunnel, and they kept on turning into props. Um, and it's also annoying because you can't really like crouch or whatever. You just turn into like maybe a smaller object, which could be an advantage. But then sometimes you literally turn into a whole entire car, and kind of hard to dodge when you're literally a car. Um, yeah, and then you had Retail Row, which they literally just took Mega Mall away, which I actually like better than Retail Row, and transformed it back into Retail Row, but this time it has zombies. So on Team Rumble, the zombies weren't there, but in regular games it was. But what I'm saying is, why would you land there if there's zombies when you could just land anywhere else and not have zombies? Um, yeah. And then some other ones, of course, but then the only one that I actually liked was the Batman X Fortnite thing uh, with Gotham City, because I just like how it looked, and I just like how you can like glide whenever you want, and just I think it's cool. It doesn't like put in any dumb game mechanics, and it's just kind of like a cool place and reference and all the references to the DC universe and whatnot. But yeah. So then also, last but not least, the missions, which you could say are basically the same as weekly challenges, but I honestly hated them because really what they weren't really hard. They were just time consuming, but I can't show you them. But basically, you would complete 7 challenges, and then you'd click prestige and then get 7 more challenges. But what they were is just fetch quests, and then once you prestiged them, it was just like the same fetch quests, but this time in a single match. So like it was just annoying. Like this one, you literally you had to like for the first one, because on the first day you got Rumble Royale and Road Trip. So like Road Trip, like one of the first challenges was like to destroy several stop signs, and then on the Prestige, one of these challenges was to destroy several stop signs in a single match, and it was just so dumb. And like some of the challenges were just really dumb. Like one of them, you had to bullseye, I believe. You had to shoot down a loot carrier, like one of the drones, from 100 meters, and it was just so hard because um, it wasn't really hard. It was just you had to have good RNG because like you can't really see over 100 meters. You can't really see a loot carrier from 100 meters unless if you have a sniper. So and then everybody else was just shooting them down, and then you had those people that are always making it so nobody else can get their challenges done, and they were just shooting down every single loot carrier for no apparent reason, just so other people can get the challenges done. So yeah, so basically you had to land on a sniper and then just like hopefully get one, and it was just so annoying. And yeah, there's just a few challenges in here that were just so annoying. There was only a few of these missions that I didn't like really mind, but I hope the missions never come back. I would honestly much rather have uh, Fort Bites, but yeah, so those are all the reasons that this is my least favorite season so far. Yeah, so basically also so back to the secret skin this season, which is the Scientist, probably honestly the easiest to unlock secret skin of all time, because every time it was just complete 7 full weeks of weekly challenges, and then with the the prisoner, you had to complete about 8.5 weeks of challenges, and then in season 8, the ruin, you had to complete about 8.5 weeks of challenges, and then you had to complete like some separate challenges to get the pickaxe and back bling, and like some XP and whatnot. And then of course Singularity, you had to get 90 Fort Bites to get her, and then 95 for stage 2, and then all 100 Fort Bites for the mask all 3 stages, and then you had to go around collect the helmets to get all the different styles. But for this one, you literally just had to wait until about week 7 or 8 or something like that, and then these challenges came out, a meteoric rise, and then you just completed 7 challenges and got the skin. So yeah, and also these challenges were not that hard or time consuming. I literally got them done in about an hour and a half or so. So yeah, I got these done faster than like any weekly challenges. So yeah, and also there's a glitch where like if you did it within the first 2 or 3 days, anybody could get this, because you're supposed to only get it if you have the battle pass. But my friend Beanie, you guys know him, he didn't have the battle pass this season, and he still managed to get it, and I know of a lot of other people that did too. So yeah, so you basically just got XP, and then once you completed 4 challenges, you got the back bling, and then the final one, you got the skin there. So yeah, so basically, if you guys don't know, it is the new Visitor. A lot of people were saying that it was the Visitor and like how he was dismantling the brutes. He was actually taking like the brutes and making them into armor to beef himself up. But at this point, I actually kind of think that the Scientist is a different person. I think he actually might be a robot, and he's actually kind of like the Visitor's helper that the Visitor created for himself. But yeah, I mean, he's basically like a thick boy Visitor, because as you can see, I do have the original Visitor, of course, which was the very first secret skin from Season 4, and everybody has been waiting for him to return ever since he flew through that rift in the rocket, forever changing the map back in Season 4. And yes, this season he's finally returning, so again, watch my event video, because that is going to be the Visitor trying again with his rocket launch, I assume, and supposedly it's ending in the whole map getting destroyed. So yeah, so the intro also has some clips with some sad music of like the island, going around the island and stuff, just because I think we might be getting a whole new island finally. Everybody's been hyping it up ever since like Season 9 or whatever. But yeah, so this is the original visitor, of course, and you can see he has that like little blade on his arm. But then you got the scientist, which you can see he's got a whole sword on his hand, pretty much. And yeah, so but this one, honestly, I didn't like better. But at this point, I think I actually do like him better, and that's mainly because like from the back, all of his like red lines, and he's also again got carbon fiber. I really love when Fortnite just puts carbon fiber in there, because since I love it so much. But yeah, you guys know for the visitor, he had these selectable styles, the different masks and whatnot, or the different face displays. But for the scientist, he actually has them too, but instead of 4, he has 5. So you got default, and then crosshair, and then dancer, which at first I was just like, what is this? Just some lines. But when you do emotes, you can see it actually like kind of has some dots. So I think it's supposed to kind of be like the visualizer. It kind of looks like it when you're dancing. But yeah, that's probably my least favorite style. This is my favorite style, the glitch. As you can see, it's just like glitching out like he broke his face or whatever. And yeah, and then you got the Japanese kawaii one, the anime smile looking one. And yeah, it just kind of forms around the sides of his face right there, and he's got the eyebrows and that. But yeah, that's my favorite style right there. So yeah, so that is the visitor. Of course, definitely a very different skin. They actually brought in constructors from Save the World and Battle Royale to style this skin after, because as you guys know, this guy kind of looks like a lot of the constructors in Save the World. But yeah, so the only thing I don't like about the skin is I don't really like when they like sneak in all that like rust, which most parts I don't really mind, but where it's like dripping down, I just don't really like the rust. And they do it on a lot of skins. And sometimes there's even rust on like cloth, and it's just like cloth doesn't rust, my dude. Um, but unless if it just dripped down from some of the metal or whatever. But then also you got like all the colors like match, but then like on the knees you got like these random like kind of bronze looking things, and then you also got on pretty much all of his joints, his elbows and his knees. Um, and also that little loop they put on the back of his head, they also did that with one of the other skins that came in the shop this season, which was a very cool skin. But the only thing I didn't like about it was they put like that loop on his head, so I don't know why they keep on doing that. I don't really like it, but yeah. So it says his mission is unknown, part of the 7. Oh, I just realized that. Huh. It says his mission is unknown, part of the 7 set. It actually used to say, last time I checked, it said his mission is unknown, part of the visitor set. So they just changed it. I guess there's the 7 set. Alright, well, yeah. So the visitor is also part of it. So, yeah, his things used to just say intentions unknown, selectable styles. But then once the this guy came out, everybody was saying like, uh, how it said that he was part of the visitor set, but then it just said the visitor intentions unknown selectable styles, and it was just like, how is the visitor not part of the visitor set? But now they actually update it, so now it says intentions unknown, part of the 7 set selectable styles. So yeah, so his says intentions unknown, his says his mission is unknown, and yeah, they also changed another thing with his description. It used to say his mission is unknown, one of the 7. So yeah, and it also used to say that with the visitor, it used to say intentions unknown, one of the 7. So yeah, so as of right now, we don't really know what the 7 are. Everybody was saying it was the 7 battle pass skins from this season, and they're like time travelers or whatever. Um, but as of right now, I don't really know. People are saying there's going to be 7 different visitor skins. Like, we're just going to be getting different variants of the visitor as a secret skin for the next few seasons or whatever, since we only have 2 out of 7 apparently. But yeah, we'll just have to figure out, because as of right now, no one really knows what the 7 is. But yeah, so anyway, that is him. And overall, I just really like the red, like on the back, and then of course, especially when you pair it up with his back bling, I just really like how that all looks from the back. And of course, it also covers up like that orange part on his back. So yeah, so I didn't even know. I just found out about that they fully changed up the description. Because usually they like never change the description of any skin. The only time they usually do is when they didn't have selectable styles or whatever, or unlockable styles, and then they add them, and then it will add like the selectable styles wheel, and then it will say like selectable styles. But this one, not only did they change this guy's description, but then they also changed this guy's description, and now they have changed this guy's description twice. So yeah, so that is the scientist finally. And his original name was actually in the like when it was leaked, it was actually Visitor Volta, which I think is a lot more cool. And Volta actually means the definition is like creation of something new, which is of course like Visitor with his rifts and creating rift zones to create new stuff. But yeah, they changed it to the Scientist, which I don't know. It's just not a menacing name or whatever. Um, but yeah, so then you got Red Strike, which is this season's uh, starter pack skin right here. Honestly, probably one of my least favorite starter pack skins. Probably my second least favorite one. My least favorite one is probably still Wild, just because again, she just looks like a rich girl that just like raided a hypebeast store and doesn't care about just wearing anything animal fur. Um, but yeah, this one I don't know. I think I would like him a lot better, but then they put this big old like bun or whatever you want to call it. I don't really know what it's supposed to be, but I don't know. Like I don't really care how tall he is. It's just when you're walking around in game, it like bounces around, and it's the same thing with it's like the same thing that I talked about last season. Why I had a problem with hers is because you're dancing or you're running around and it's just bouncing and stuff, and it's just weird. Um, but yeah, I think other than that, it looks pretty darn cool. I'm not a huge fan of the gold pants either, but other than the gold pants and his big old hair there, I think it is pretty darn cool. Of course, his hood is like the poofiest hood on earth as well. But yeah, other than that, I think it's pretty cool. Just I don't know, it's kind of weird. The description is often challenged, never bested, part of the gold mask set, and he actually came with a harvesting tool. This is like the first starter pack skin to come with like another cosmetic, but sold separately in the shop, which I didn't get it, but it was a pretty nice harvesting tool. I don't think it's been back in the shop since though. But then you have the Batman or the Cape Crusader bundle, which of course came with the Batman X Fortnite. It was only like $20, and it came with, yes, another rarity. So now you got epic, or so now you got common, uncommon, rare, epic, Marvel, DC, dark, and legendary. So yeah, so DC is kind of like this uh kind of darkish blue. So yeah, so you got the Batman comic book outfit, and when they said there was gonna be Batman skins, I thought it was gonna be like some like just kind of Fortnite Batman skin, not literally Batman. Um, and then this one I kind of expected, but I did not expect them to literally put Christian Bale as Batman in the game. But we'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, so it says DC outfit, Batman comic book outfit, the world's greatest detective, part of the DC set. So yeah, so it's kind of I don't think he's really like fully based off anything. I mean, he's the comic book one, but I don't think he's ever really like looked exactly like this. So this is kind of like the Fortnite modified Batman. But yeah, I don't know. Just with any other back bling, he's got like these back bling or with these skins, you kind of gotta wear their cape, because if not, they just, I mean, like this one kind of looks fine, but still a lot better with his cape. But this one, I just think he looks like a thick boy in long johns or something. So yeah, just really weird. But what's very cool about these skins that I gotta show real quick is with any other back bling, they'll just like wear it like a back bling, but then with their actual capes, as you can see, this one, it just has a Batman logo and then the cape, but then if you wear the actual cape that goes along with them, it actually forms to, like, it's completely seamless, and it actually forms like to his cowl and goes around his shoulders. And also these capes on any other skin, as you can see, they're just like a cape, like any other cape or whatever. And when you're running around, it's just like a cape. But then when you put it on the respective skin, not only does it like form to their body, but as you can see, it kind of like blows to the side. And when you're running around in game, it doesn't just kind of like act like a cape. It actually like blows like you're heroically running around. But yeah, so that's very cool, and it does the same thing with the other skin that you got, the Dark Knight movie outfit, which I thought that it was on like the leaked picture, like right before the patch notes started for the Batman update thing. And I thought it was just like a little like, it was just like, here's this Batman, but then here's the actual Batman that we're going to be getting in Fortnite. But no, they actually included Christian Bale's Batman from the Dark Knight movie, or the Dark Knight trilogy. But yeah, so this is the Dark Knight movie outfit. It says the hero Gotham deserves. Yeah, it's literally him, which I think they did a pretty great job on all the detail and stuff. They even put like the kind of cross design in there, and that and his like double blades on there and everything. And yeah, he looks really cool when he's like scowling and stuff. The only bad thing is when you're doing emotes, just you can see his smile, and yeah, it's just very weird seeing him as that, especially doing the Catwoman emote that we got. Um, that is very weird when he does like the whip and then like hisses. That is the weirdest thing, seeing Christian Bale's Batman do that. But yeah, so that is that. And as you can see with his cape, once again, if I like put if I put this one on, it's just like that. And as you can see, it's instead of like having those lines down there and like the goldish Batman logo, it's actually black and just like plain black. And it's like more serrated down there, and this one's like not as serrated as you can see. But yeah, this one, of course, once again, actually forms to his back. It gets like that little like split down the middle right there. And yeah, it actually goes around his shoulders and connects right there. And again, like blows in the wind and whatnot. So yeah, so I just think that's so cool. The only bad thing is, of course, with any other emote or with any other back bling, it just like there's no other back blings that really match these skins. I mean, of course, you can put like these on and whatnot, but I don't know. Really, only their cape matches. These ones, this one definitely looks pretty good, except for like the purple. But yeah, so that is that. So next up is P1000. There was a lot of bundles this season, because you had the starter pack and then Dark Reflections and then P1000, and then the Cape Crusader and whatnot. But yeah, so this is basically Peely. Of course, you guys know there's Peely, but then once him and Jonesy went into the bunker and got stuck there for a while, Jonesy made him into a smoothie. And then in the trailer for this season, you saw him when Jonesy was going through the 0 point. Peely like did the "I got my eyes on you" thing. Like Peely was all mad at him. But I guess Jonesy worked it out, and they actually made a trailer which was literally like a little scene for scene, little recreation of like the Iron Man 1 cave scene when he was creating the Mark 1, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, if you haven't seen that, definitely watch that. It's pretty darn cool. It's only like 20 seconds long too. But yeah, and they haven't really done like a trailer for a bundle yet, but they did for this one. But yeah, it was basically like the bundle for Breakpoint and yeah, Breakpoint and also Inferno, wherever he is, right there, where you basically got the skin and like and then like for this one you got the skin, the back bling, or the skin, the harvesting tool, and the wrap, and then some challenges to get up to like 1,000 V-Bucks or whatever. And then P1000 you got the skin, a built-in emote, and challenges to get up to 1,500 V-Bucks. And then Breakpoint, of course, you got the skin, the back bling, and then challenges to get up to like 1,500 V-Bucks or whatever too. But yeah, so you got P1000. So it says purely powered combat banandroid, part of the Bunker Days set, built-in emotes. Yeah, so basically they took the Jonesy basically built a mech and then took his little leftover smoothie, which, I mean, you can do that. Of course, with Peely, you can always have these messed up combos where you're wearing that, or you're wearing his Peely skin on himself, although that is a very nice combo right there. Or you can even wear those back blings like on Peely himself or whatever. But yeah, so he basically put it right there, so he's got like full function. He can look around. It kind of looks like a pillowed throne or whatever. But yeah, and then he's got this pose where he's kind of just looking around like a robot and holding it up, like flexing his flat arms. But yeah, so it's very weird. Again, they made some really unique skins, like how his legs and arms are like flat and stuff. But yeah, so you can actually like see through this. So a lot of people would say like this pay-to-win skin or whatever. But yeah, so it's still kind of got that banana shape as well. And then he's got like BB right there, and again that skin, of course, Nana right there. And then the built-in emote right here is called Peely Pulse, and it does this. So yeah, it pretty much pushes his chest or whatever, and it blends him up and shakes his face around, and then he basically does like the breezy emote. But yeah, and then also, of course, his face is like reactive with emotes, as you can see, just like I showed with his back bling, which it still doesn't say it's reactive, but then you can see it's like that face. But then when you do different emotes, it like is reactive, as you can see there. But yeah, so that is P1000. I like that bundle quite a bit. These like bundles I think have been pretty good because of course like with the V-Bucks, of course, because the first one was like Fallen Love Ranger, which I do like quite a bit, but it's probably my least favorite out of all these ones. But then you got Inferno, which I absolutely love him, and then Breakpoint, which was one of my favorite skins last season. And then now you got P1000, which I think is also very good. But yeah. So then you got another bundle which wasn't in the shop. It was actually bought for 1,600 V-Bucks, which I got with some Save the World V-Bucks and also with some help from the V-Bucks I got from the P1000 bundle, which is basically the Zone Wars bundle that you got with during the Zone Wars kind of event type thing. But yeah, it was 1,600 V-Bucks for 2 rare skins, 1 rare back bling, and then challenges to get different styles for each of for both of the skins and the back bling. But yeah, so first off, it came with Hot Zone, which is they are both reskins, but of course this guy's pretty much a reskin of Cryptic right here. Of course this guy just doesn't have like the hat and he has like a mask. But yeah, so that's him. Let me take off this back bling. But yeah, so as him, he's my least favorite skin out of the bundle. Of course, there's only 2 skins, but out of the 2, he's my least favorite. But yeah, so you got Default and Galaxy Blue, which Default I'm not a huge fan of. I like the red and blue. I don't know. I just don't think it really works, and especially like you can see what is very cool about these skins is you can see like kind of that grid design and then like the star design on the black. When you're actually in darker areas, the like white kind of actually glows, so it looks like stars or something. And then the grid actually glows, like on this one it glows yellow, and then on like this style it actually glows like neon green, which is very cool. It just looks like all that, it looks like stars, and then the whole outside of the skin, me and Brayson thought when you're in the dark, like dark areas at first, it was just like the invulnerability when you first like spawn in on Zone Wars or whatever, how you kind of like glow blue, but no, when you're in dark, I don't know if it's just because they're like the Zone Wars bundle and it kind of relates to Zone Wars. But no, when you're in the dark, it actually like the skin kind of like glows bluish. And if you guys know like aerogel or whatever, it kind of looks like how stuff looks when it's covered in aerogel, which is pretty darn cool looking. But yeah, it says turn up the heat, part of the Zone Wars set. And yeah, so that's that. Both of these skins and both of the back blings, I like the Galaxy Blue a lot better. Just because I mean it goes along with like the stars more. And I just really like it a lot more. But then you got the skin that I like more out of the bundle, which is Danger Zone, of course, a reskin version of Oblivion. But yeah, so I honestly like this more than Oblivion though. So yeah, it says Danger Zone, embrace danger. So yeah, so then once again you got Default, and then the one that I like better, Galaxy Blue. So yeah, so I actually like this skin quite a darn bit. Of course, you have a lot more of the star design, but then also still like nice glowing grid and whatnot design. Yeah, so that is both of those skins, and then the last one is Ruby, the last skin that I bought. So yeah, so basically she's like the same kind of version as like Sunbird and Shadowbird, but yeah, kind of Ruby. Everybody's saying she's like an Adidas or Supreme skin. As you'll see at the towards the end of the video, I made like a little picture with the YouTube wrap, the red lines wrap or whatever. Or the red line wrap. If you like pair that with this or even the scavenger wrap, it really looks like some sort of Supreme thing. But yeah, so she's got like a grenade and some shotgun shells or whatever, and yeah, and then she's got like that shin pad, but this one is just like really nice and sleek and everything. Because usually it's like, as you can see, it's kind of like usually like kind of blocky like that or whatever on most skins, because most skins have that knee pad thing. Okay, I guess not much rare skins have that thing. But yeah, you can see like all the skins that have those, it's kind of blocky, but this one's like for the first time it like just wraps around her leg and it's just all clean went up. But yeah, I just think it's a very clean skin. The only bad thing is most skins that have a hoodie on or whatever, their hood is up, like this skin and this skin and this skin, and etc. But this one it's actually down because she's got the hat on, and literally, unless if you're wearing like a bigger back bling, if it's anywhere near being flat, her hood goes through it. So yeah, she doesn't go well with many back blings, but her back bling definitely goes well on a lot of skins. So yeah, so her name's Ruby, and it says sometimes you gotta shine, part of the Street Stripe set. And that is the last skin there. So now I just need to figure out a skin that I can just wear for the showing off the all the back blings, because of course you gotta have a skin where the hood doesn't go through and they're not doing a pose, so the back bling's not like sideways or cutting off or whatever. We'll just go with Dark Wild Card, why not? Because he's nice and small and sleek, and any back bling you can fully see on him. So yeah, so now on to back bling. So first off, the backboard is not a new back bling. Of course, I got it last season. but there's a new style for it. So through the Zone Wars set, you could actually, if you didn't get the backboard already, you could unlock it again. But of course, last season from doing all those hang time challenges, you could get all these styles. But if you actually just now unlocked it this season, you still don't get all these styles because those were a one-time thing back then. But you could get this style. So this is the new style that you unlocked from the. There was free challenges, so you could get the bundle, but then there's actually free challenges where you could unlock this style for the backboard backbling, or the backboard if you didn't already have it. And then you also unlock the second backbling for the bundle, because a bundle actually only comes with one of the backblings, and then to get the other backbling, you get it from the free challenges, and then the style just comes with it already. And then you also got a spray and then some XP. But yeah, for completing all the challenges, you got the Zone Wars style right there, which is a pretty cool style, but my favorite style is still the Slurp style there. So just showed that real quick. But then the backblings is to officially start off is the one and only pet from this season, which is Kitsune. So you guys know I am not a huge fan of pets. There's only like a couple pets that I actually truly like, which is like the Merry Munchkin, just because of all of his little gestures and what he does, like when you get knocked or win or whatever. I just like how unique he is and like what all he does. And now Kitsune is probably my second favorite pet, just because of course you guys know I like the Fennec Fox is my favorite animal, and this is probably the closest we'll ever get to that. But yeah, it's literally just like the Kitsune Fox, which is, if you didn't know, with Drift and Catalyst, that whole set is based off of the Kitsune Fox, which is of course not a real fox. It's just like a kind of mythical creature based off like Japanese culture or something like that. I can't remember, but it's basically a fox with two tails, which he actually does have two tails. I don't really know if I can show it. No, he's just smiling and jamming out back there. But maybe if I do maybe if I do the floating jump pads. No, I think it's only when you're gliding, but he does have two tails. I just don't think I can really show it. But it says two tails, one good friend per the drift set. Then you got different styles. You got the Rift Storm, which is the main one. It's my favorite style. It doesn't change the style of the carrier, which that's the other thing, is the carrier I also really like. It's got like the little like kunais on him or whatever. And also he does that thing, he'll like kind of sit there, and then he looks around, and then he'll like get up and do that little digging thing right there, which of course my dog that passed away actually yesterday. Oh, there's his two tails right there. But yeah, anyway, of course, Taco, if you didn't know it, yesterday was actually his 1 year anniversary of him passing away. So yeah, so this pet also just kind of reminds me of him, how I used to do that cute little digging thing. Yeah, so there's that, but also you got the Snowstorm and the black version. So yeah, so that is that. Like the pet quite a bit. I still don't usually use him just because I still don't usually like using pets, but if I do use a pet, it's most likely going to be Merry Munchkin or Kitsune. I do like most of the other pets, it's just, I don't know. Yeah. So next up is a Spiked Satchel, which is a rare back bling down here somewhere. Yeah, so it's the back bling to go along with X-Lord. It says make your point part of the Storm Scavenger set, but it's basically just a back bling or a backpack with spikes, and then it's got styles for each of the colors of X-Lord. You got black, which is my favorite style, rust, and then crimson and hunter. So yeah. So then you got Star Shot, which is for Sparkle Supreme, which I don't really like, honestly. It's kind of like a worse version of Ice Mantle, which I'm not saying Ice Mantle is bad. It's still one of my favorite backblings in the game. It's just this one is basically trying to be Ice Mantle, but it's not as good. Like, of course, it's like smaller, so most of the more tryhards will like it or whatever. But I don't know. It kind of looks like an inappropriate object, if you know what I'm talking about. And yeah. Uh, so yeah, but it also kind of just waves around weirdly, which I know that Ice Mantle does too. But this one, I don't know, it looks kind of weird. But also when you're jumping around right about there, you can kind of see it when I wave it around. It's kind of like it's like hard back there, and then it stops waving around right there. So I don't know, it just looks weird. But yeah, it says Star Shot, radiating confidence, and yeah, that's that. So not a huge fan of that backbling. But then you got Atmosphere. So these some of these backblings you also unlock from the missions, because you unlocked a lot of stuff throughout the battle pass. But then from the missions, usually from the end of the first challenges, you would unlock like XP and whatnot, and then you would unlock either like a harvesting tool or a back bling or whatever. And then for the prestige, like halfway through, you would get a spray or an emoticon or whatever, and then the final one you would get like the another style for the skin. So yeah, so starting off, um, with those, the first back bling you got, which I absolutely love. It's one of the only two legendary back blings I got this season, I believe, actually. Or no, three, because one came with the scientist. But yeah, so it's atmosphere, which is very cool. It's literally like the, I don't know what this like if this actually stands for something in like the Japanese language or whatever. But I just know it as the drift logo. But when it goes back and forth, it kind of like bounces or whatever. So it's kind of like being held together by like gravity or whatever. Yeah, it's just got the like pink lightning kind of styles, and also people are asking for different styles for this to go along with the different styles of the skins or the catalyst skin, but it says resonating with energy per the drift set. Yeah, it's pretty darn cool because uh, you can just like of course put it like on the back of Drift, because he actually has that logo on his back, and as you can see there, it just goes along with that. And same with Catalyst, he also has that logo. So yeah, there's just that. Yeah, so as that, really love that back bling. And then you got Dragon Crest, which is one of the better shields in the game, I think. Because a lot of skins, they do actually like go through it. That's a problem with a lot of the flat back blings. Um, but yeah. But I don't know. I just think it's very cool. Like the shape of it, it's not just like the casual, regular shape of like the Fortnite shield. Um, but it's like a new kind of shape, and it actually has styles. But it says Forged in Dragonfire, part of the Fortnite set. And yeah, you basically just unlock this with Ultima Night at tier 100. Yeah, so you got the gold color, the silver color, and the black color, which is kind of weird because for the skin there's only gold, silver, and red. So people are asking if we can get a like a Black Knight kind of style for Ultima Night, like the black and red. So yeah, so it's kind of weird. There's sadly there's not really like a style that really matches my favorite style, the red variant of or the red color of Ultima Night. Because this apparently is supposed to go with him, but this one doesn't really look all that great on him. But yeah, so my favorite color for this one is the silver one. Um, yeah, so then you got Paint Pack, another one unlocked like through the missions for the um, for Sparkle, or not Sparkle Supreme, Tilted Technique. So yeah, so it's a lot like Palette Pack, this of course didn't come with like Technique or whatever in Season 4. This is from the Wild Starter Pack. But yeah, so this is Paint Pack. It says Spray and Pray, part of the Aerosol Assassin set. So yeah, so basically just a backpack with 3 cans of spray paint. But yeah, and then you just got the same like color styles with that. But again, my favorite color is black for that one too, just like the skin. But then you got Trophy Sack, another one of the mission backblings. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this backbling. I just think it's very oddly shaped and just, I don't know. It's also just kind of weird. But yeah, it's literally just like the dead, chopped off heads of some of the Fortnite mascots, Tomato Head, Beef Boss, and Cuddle Team Leader. So yeah, it says keep ahead of the competition, like keep ahead, but also keep literally ahead. Yeah, so that's another back bling for X Lord or Rush Lord, whatever. And yeah, Beef Boss's tongue also kind of waves around there. And then for whatever reason, it's got a little spiky thing to hold the bag closed. Yeah. But then you got the Bronto bag right here, which is basically like another version of the Scaly. I still like Scaly better because, believe it or not, it actually goes well on a lot of skins. But yeah, you got Bronto, which is kind of weird. I don't really like how the tail wags around on this one. It just, I don't know, it looks weird. Uh, but yeah, it says Bronto bag, one for the ages per the Dino Guard set, but still goes well on quite a few skins. It's like smaller than the other one, but kind of like the same thing. Kind of just looks like a headless baby dinosaur. I guess your head is supposed to be like the head. So you can see it's like the dinosaur body, and then your head is the head of the dinosaur. Same thing with like the scaly one there. Since they have like the legs and the tail and whatnot, it's just everything but the head. Yeah, still a pretty good back bling. Yeah. But then you got Rift Rock, which actually came in the item shop towards the beginning of the season, since they started like selling separate back blings. Of course, like rare back blings are just 400 V-Bucks in the shop, and yeah, it's literally pretty much just little a little souvenir of the meteor from the map, of course. But yeah, so I just think it's really cool because as you can see, there's actually like smoke and like cinder kind of stuff like floating around it, and that doesn't like move, it just kind of floats, but I think it really makes it look cool. And it actually like glows and is kind of animated, and yeah, it's literally just like the meteor on your back. And it says Rift Rock back from beyond. So then from the Dark Reflections pack, you got the Dark Shield here, which is a very nice shield, of course, just like the regular shield, but it's just got like the animations of the like glyphs and whatnot. And then you got Wild Cube, which is basically like the better version of Lil Kev and Shackled Stone, because I think they're cool back blings, but like the Shackled Stone doesn't really get cool until you get like enough eliminations or outlast enough opponents, and then it actually reacts and like the little glyph shows up and whatnot. But also, I'm just not a huge fan of back blings that are like cubes like this. I don't really mind how they stand out off your back, but I don't know. I just think it's weird how they stand off your back, like how it's just like a small back bling, but they just stand so far out. I don't know, it's just so weird looking, as you can see. But yeah, so I think out of those three, this one is the best, just because, I mean, it's literally like pretty much one of the Shadow Stones from Season 6. And also, you don't even have to do anything to get it to react, it's literally just always like that. And as you can see, it's like sparking and sending out little glyphs, and yeah, it says Wild Cube, Untamable, and yeah. I think it's better looking than those other ones. And then last, those are you only got 2 back blings from that bundle, because you got 2 back blings, 3 skins, 2 back blings, and then a harvesting tool, for Jonesy, of course. But yeah, so then where are we here? Oh yeah, so then you got Star Surge, which is right here. Which is basically, of course, a play off of the Visitor's Offworld rig, which I'd still say this is a better version of the Offworld rig, because of course now we kind of have like 3 backlings that are kind of like the same type of thing, where it's like a little object and then like the cape. I still think the best one is the Retribution, of course, especially my favorite skin. I absolutely love rocking this blue Retribution with like the one that I was wearing at the beginning of the video, the blue and neon green with the black and whatnot of Vendetta, and the blue and green pickaxe, just that whole set. Absolutely love rocking that, but this is like the worst one. I think it's still okay, but it doesn't match too many skins, and it's just kind of ugly looking. But what's cool is like when you run, this little cap thing kind of actually opens, and then when you crouch, it like opens, but only like halfway. So yeah, so they also update this. I can see it says Intergalactic Original, but now it actually says part of the 7 set. So yeah, don't know where they're going with that. And then, yeah, so then it says Legendary Backbling Star Surge, Powered Through the Rifts, part of the 7 set. So you can also see it has selectable styles, but you can't see them right now. But basically what it is, they already have been leaked. It's basically just a white version, so basically all this, like, kind of dark grayish bluish you can see through, I think, for collecting all of the visitor tapes, which I've collected 4 out of 6. The last 2 are coming tomorrow. But there's like a secret style for the Scientist and the Star Surge backbling, and it's actually a white version, which I'd still say that I like the original version for the Star Surge and the Scientist better, but the white version is actually pretty darn clean. So yeah, so sadly I can't show it because they're not even on here, but I will be unlocking that, so just know by the end of the season I will have that, of course. Just gotta wait until I can unlock it. But yeah, so this is the backbling. Of course, it's like really big because it's supposed to go on the Scientist. So it doesn't go too well on too many skins because this top part is very huge, and it's got like this big old like rocket booster looking thing on there and right there, and then it's got these tubes. But yeah, it's also slightly animated. As you can see, the red kind of flows down there. But yeah, and I thought this little cap part was going to open kind of like on this one. But I think since it's right in the center and like really big, it would probably like completely cover your head. So I think that's why they decided not to do that with that. But yeah, pretty good backbling. Other than, if I didn't say it already, it says Power Through the Wrist, part of the 7 set. So yeah, so then next up is the game plan, which is a backbling for Eternal Voyager, which I think is very cool. One of my favorite backblings from this season, and it's literally just like kind of like a Game Boy type looking thing. And yeah, it's just like you can see all the details, and it's literally just like a little retro video game, and I thought it was gonna be like secretly reactive, like a lot of the items in the game, and I thought like the thing would like shoot when you shoot or whatever, or like it would like change like colors when you shot or danced or whatever. But nope. Pretty much all it does is like when you jump around, this like little joystick thing kind of moves around. But yeah, and also has styles. So you got the green one right there, and then my favorite one, the cerulean, and then of course you can unlock the red one, as I said there. And then it says bring your game wherever you go, part of the Space Explorer set. And then you got Bladed Bag, which is of course from the starter pack, which I will say one of the redeeming things from the starter pack, other than the 600 V-Bucks it comes with, as always. It also came with this backbling, which I think is one of the best starter pack backblings, if not the best, honestly. Because I just think it's really cool, like the two size there, and then like the little shuriken, and then the red, gold, and black backbling. In the size kind of wiggle around right there, and yeah, it says sharp and ready, part of the gold mask set, and it goes well on quite a bit of skins actually, and yeah, I definitely like that backbling quite a bit. So that's probably my favorite part of the starter pack this season. So yeah, so then we've pretty much already showed these, but just to talk about them some more, we got the Batman comic book cape right there. So yeah, so probably the most versatile cape now. These two capes, because they're just completely black. They go well on pretty much any skin, because of course it was like Ragnarok's Frozen Shroud cape, where that is. And then we got like some other, we've just been putting capes out everywhere. But I would say just out of any of the capes, this is definitely the cape that, these two capes definitely go the best on like pretty much any skin you put them on. And of course, I think it's really cool they like actually interact with their respective skins. But yeah, especially if you like wear the gold Ultima Night, like the gold Origin Ultima Night with the Dark Knight movie cloak, it looks very, very good. Very nice wombo combo. But yeah, so Batman comic book cape says cloak yourself in darkness, and then the Dark Knight movie cloak says become the bat. So yeah, so don't know why it says comic book cape and then the cloak there, since they're both pretty much the same thing. But yeah. So then you got the two backblings for like the Zone War stuff, which is the Starcrest Shift, which this is the free one that actually came with the bundles, which is kind of cool because this is actually the one that I like better. But yeah, it has this really cool design that was like on the back bling, and there are the two back blings and the harvesting tools, which the only thing I didn't get was the harvesting tools because you had to buy those separately from everything else, and it was still just 800 V-Bucks, and I don't think they're really worth it. But yeah, it says elegantly engineered, and yeah, I just think it's really cool because with both the back blings and the harvesting tools, they had like this cool like the same like kind of design with the grid and the stars, but then like they had like this like all these like black shards coming off with like this blue fog stuff. And of course you have these styles, the default and the Galaxy Blue, and then the one that came with the bundle is the Starcrest Flux, and it says Pure Perfection. And yeah, the reason I don't like this one better is because I just think this one looks more cool and it has more detail and stuff. But also you can like really see the like black kind of design look a lot more. But this one, when you're running around, as you can see, it's just like facing you, so you can't really see it unless if it's from the side or whatever. But yeah, so that is both of those there. But yeah, pretty cool back blings, but I just like this one better. So then, last but not least, for back blings is Red Alert, which of course came with Ruby, which is basically just a red backpack. Pretty boxy backpack. Looks like it was freshly bought from the Supreme store. And of course they do have the straps on there, but since the only backblings that actually like interact with their respective skins are these backblings, the straps kind of just sit there and they kind of just stick to their back, I guess. But yeah, so then it's just on this little strap here, it's got like a pair of headphones, and then on this side it just has a knife, which is kind of a weird thing to have on a backpack, but you know. So yeah, so it goes well on a lot of skins, of course. I mean, pretty much any skin that has red on it, it goes very well on. And of course Ruby, of course, and yeah, it goes well on a lot of skins. It says Red Alert, let them know what's up, part of the Street Stripe set. So that is all the backbling or skins and backblings. So now on to harvesting tools. But yeah, so So first off is the cosmic cleavers, which you guys know I'm always a bigger fan of the like regular harvesting tools over the dual pickaxes. But these are probably my second favorite dual pickaxes in the game. My first favorite are the combo cleavers. I actually started using these even more ever since I showed them last season. Yeah, I just absolutely love these. I love like that they're from like so far my favorite event in the whole game. But also just like how they actually have like they're actually like of course there's only one sword in the game. Like I don't know. The only reason they made them dual is because like how you hold regular harvesting tools, you would be holding the blade on this one, so it wouldn't really make sense. So they kind of had to make them dual. Yeah, and then how they actually have, like the singularity statue like in the actual event and whatnot. But these are probably my now second favorite dual harvesting tools. Um, and that is because like they're just I mean they make a pretty cool sound here. And also they're pretty small and while still just being really sleek and having a lot of detail. And you can see they actually do have that like same animation, but then they actually also have this like secondary animation where it looks like they're like zooming forward or whatever. So you got green, of course, my favorite style once again, cerulean, and then the red ones, which I haven't really looked at these ones. These ones are pretty darn cool too. I still like the cerulean ones better because they have like the black and cyan kind of colors, but yeah, these ones are definitely pretty cool too. Yeah, so that is those. Um, yeah, so then you got the Sparkle Scythe, which is of course for Sparkle Supreme, which I actually like quite a bit. I wish they didn't have like that little pink star right there, but other than that, I do like the pink and blue, even though they definitely did a lot of pink and blue stuff last season. Yeah, so that is that. I don't know if I read the description for these, but it says strike for the stars. But then on this one it says dazzle and destroy. It sounds like this. And yeah, so that is that. So then next up you have Vanquisher, which oh my gosh. Here it is. So yeah, so this is the thing that you unlock from the like final mission, not the final prestige mission, but from the final mission. Which is of course based around Ultima Night. But this harvesting tool, I was saying like, man, that thing's going to be huge, but then on the loading screen it actually doesn't look that big when he's holding it, or whoops, when he's holding it, you can see it doesn't look that huge, but oh my gosh, guys, in the game, you guys know I'm not one to complain about like big skins. I don't really care how big a skin is or backbling, but there are a few things that I can notice are actually big, and I will even say that they are kind of big and distracting. But the only things that there are is this Stage 1 Sentinel with his backbling on that I talked about last season. But the only other thing now is this harvesting tool, which I believe I have it in some video clips at the end of this video. But man, this thing is huge. Like literally, it looks like when you're holding it with like links or whatever, like it literally looks like I could like curl up. If you could curl up as a skin, I could literally curl up and then get inside this thing. Like, this thing is huge, and it sounds pretty nice. Very heavy metal sounding. But yeah, this thing is absolutely huge. Like, when you're swinging it, it's basically like the global axe, but the global axe is just a whole bunch of small things making it big, so I don't mind the global axe at all. But this one's basically like the global axe if you just put it into one thing and made it into one big barrel block. So I definitely do like the design and everything, but I don't know, it's just ginormous, and sadly that was the only epic harvesting tool from this season, because usually we would get like one with the tier 1 skin, then like one with the tier 100 skin or whatever, and then like from season 7 of course we got like 2 with the tier 1 skin, but yeah, and then I mean we usually get like a few, but from this season we only got one, which was this. And it wasn't actually even from the battle pass, it was from the missions, which you can only do like with the battle pass. But yeah, so that is that. Yeah, so that's that harvesting tool. Probably one of my I do like it, but still one of my least favorite from the season. So then you got Bubble Popper, which was one of the only harvesting tools I bought from the shop this season. It might have actually been the only. Yeah, this is the only harvesting tool that I bought from the shop this season. And I wasn't going to, but then I actually like clicked Swing Tool in the shop, the item shop, and I learned that it has like a secret feature, and it is very, very cool. Of course, I mean the pink and blue kind of just looks pretty cool, but it's like a little like bubble machine. But then you got this little like accordion type looking thing, to like blow it up, and then there's a bubble on the back, which I don't know if I read the description for this. It says swing with strength of steel. This one says swing sweet. But when you swing it, it actually sounds like this, and you can hear it actually blowing up the bubble on the back. And yeah, it actually blows up the bubble on the back, and you do it like 3 times or whatever. And you can see it gets pretty big. And then that's like as big as it gets. And then you do that. And then it pops. And then it's like nothing. And then you just keep on doing that. So I just think it sounds very cool. And I just think it's so cool to have a secret feature like that. And there's not, I mean, there's like reactive harvesting tools, but there's not really like a harvesting tool that has like a secret feature like that. So yeah, I think it's very cool that they did that. So then you got Fang Saws, another dual harvesting tool. Not a huge fan of these, but what's cool is these ones, they actually are kind of like interactive with not only X-Lord or Rustlord or Renegade Raider or whatever, like anything part of the Storm Scavenger set. These are just reactive with, or they're not reactive, but they kind of interact with any skin, because when you're holding these in-game, you can see that they're kind of like these breaking down chainsaws, and your arms actually kind of like shake while you're holding these. Which is kind of cool. So if you haven't noticed it, just go into a game while holding these, and you actually, like, your arms kind of shake while you're holding them. But, yeah, so you can see, like, these sparks flying out from the top in the smoke, and, yeah, this is my favorite style for them. But, yeah, they have, once again, all the styles, the Rust, Crimson, and Hunter, and it says Bite Back, part of the Storm Scavenger set. They sound like that. So, yeah, so that is those, and then the Plasmatic Edge came with that skin I was talking about when I was talking about the scientist. I just still can't remember the name of it. But yeah, I just think it's a very cool harvesting tool, especially for rare. As you can see, these are kind of floating, and then it has that really cool animation of like those triangles there. And overall, this looks really cool. Sounds like this. So yeah, so very cool sounding there as well. And it says calibrated for absolute domination, and it also came with different styles, which the other one is red. There. So the only thing I don't like is this one, like, all of it matches and stuff, but sadly on the style that I like better, the blue one, for whatever reason, that's still red and that's still red instead of being, like, black or silver. So that kind of stands out and it's kind of weird. But the other thing that's cool is, like, every other skin, or every other item in the game with a selectable style, like, you can change the style and it will still have the same icon, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it's supposed to be like this, but you change the style and it actually changes the icon right there. As you can see, it's red now, and then I change it and it's blue. So I think it would be kind of cool if they did that with other skins too, like whatever style you had it on, like style and color and whatnot, if it actually like saved on that for the icon in the locker. But so far this is the only thing to like have it like that. But then next up is Renegade Rollers, another dual harvesting tool. Yeah, it's basically like the Renegade Roller harvesting tool, which is basically just like a longer paint roller with like a crowbar strapped to the end, but this one's just like 2 paint rollers, not modified in any way, just like paint rollers. But yeah, it says roll up on the competition, part of Aerosol Assassin set. It sounds like this. But yeah, and then it has like the dripping paint, and those like spin, and when you swing them, they like spin even more and whatnot. And then last out of like these ones from like the challenges and or the missions and whatnot, is the Scepter, which I might have to say is my new favorite harvesting tool in the game, because you guys know I absolutely love like the harvesting tools that are just like staffs and whatnot. Yeah, because I love the Spell Slinger, which another thing, actually I should talk about this, they actually gave a style to everything in the Arcane Art set, except for the glider. They gave like a fire style, which I did get, of course, for the Spell Slinger. So yeah, so I still like this style the best, but you did actually get a new style, which is the fire one. So I figured I'd also show that. But yeah, this is the Scepter right here, which is of course just like the harvesting tool I was talking about for the twin turntable set. It says find the perfect beat, and of course for the whole set they like instead of E's they put 3's, and it sounds like this. So pretty darn cool, and you can see when you hit stuff it's kind of colorful. But then once you actually use it in game, it actually has like a contrail of like the kind of EQ waves, and it's just really like rainbow colored and everything, and it's just so cool. And yeah, and just the contrail with it on top of all of the other stuff, like how cool and simple it looks, and just everything. I just absolutely love this harvesting tool. I used it for quite a while, and I've been using it, as you saw at the beginning of the video. I already had it equipped. Yeah, so absolutely love that harvesting tool. And yeah, probably currently my new favorite harvesting tool in the game. Yeah. So, next up, you have all of these Save the World harvesting tools. So, as you guys know, of course, I'm a huge Save the World player. So, I actually did unlock all these. So, basically, they have been slowly introducing the whole locker to Save the World, except for, like, gliders and contrails, because that's not, like, on Save the World. Yeah, they actually made it so now you can, ever since the beginning of the season, you could use your harvesting tools in Save the World. So they made it so any of the harvesting tools you have unlocked on Save the World, you now have on Battle Royale, which did make some of the community mad on Save the World, because if you guys didn't know, the first ever legendary harvesting tool in the game was this harvesting tool on Save the World. It actually was legendary. But now on Save the World, of course, you just have the locker in on here, so now all of these Save the World harvesting tools are just uncommon. But yeah, it's pretty darn cool, because, I mean, like, if you think about it, this harvesting tool is, I mean, pretty darn rare, because, like, yeah, I do know there are a lot of people that have unlocked this, but, I mean, you think about it against any other harvesting tool in Battle Royale, you just buy or unlock through the Battle Pass. But this one, I mean, you have to actually be like a Save the World player, because I mean, you have to be a pretty end game player to unlock this. But of course, I've had it since late season 8 or early season 9 or whatever. Yeah, so right when this came out, right when they introduced the harvesting tools to Save the World, I of course unlocked every single one, all 7 of them. Brayton's about to unlock this final one here too, but yeah, so they unlocked all of them, and they are part of the Save the World set, which I think it's so cool that they're doing Save the World set, and of course, there's a lot more coming, and I just think that they could have a lot more in store for the Save the World set. So yeah, so you basically unlocked all of them. I'm going to try saying these in order. I wrote them down not in order for whatever reason, but the first one is, of course, Old Woody. It says looks sturdy, but yeah, literally just a nailed together a couple pieces of wood there. And then you have, after that, I believe it went to this one. Yeah, the Tech Axe Enhanced Structural Analysis. So yeah, so basically just like a wood pole, but kind of some tech on there. And then after that, or actually before that one, so it goes from this one, and then it goes to this one, which is the Basic Basher, which is basically just wood with like a metal kind of thing kind of put through there and tied down or whatever. So yeah, so the description of that is gets the job done. Then it goes to this one, and then it goes to this one, the hydraulic wrecker, piston powered, and yeah, pretty much like this one but smaller. So yeah, so then speaking of that one, the next one after that one is the Vendor Tech Elite, cutting edge harvesting technology, which is basically the same thing but bigger, and kind of the start of the like actual like nice looking ones. So then the second to last one, the like first epic harvesting tool in Save the World, and then it also goes into legendary. So yeah, so this one is also legendary as well. This one you have epic, and then once you unlock the next one, it's actually the same harvesting tool but a legendary version. So yeah, so this harvesting tool and this harvesting tool are actually legendary harvesting tools, but now they're uncommon. So yeah, so this is most people's favorite from Save the World. But yeah, it's kind of like that other one, but now you got like these kind of like blue, kind of foggy looking things, which is pretty cool, and then like sparks and stuff, and it says now with lasers, and it's the laser pick. And then last but not least, you have the axe hammer, which rocket fuel jackhammer pickaxe, and yeah, it's just got like the needle type thing on the front, and then like the rocket powered and stuff, the max pickaxe currently on Save the World. But yeah, so you got all of those, and then of course you do still have like the Save the World pickaxes that just came with like some of the other packs and stuff. Of course, the rose glow and the mean streak. Which of course this is just like a different color of this, because these ones aren't actually on Save the World, but these ones are on Save the World. These are actually how they looked. Of course now you can use these ones on Save the World, but you know. So yeah, so that's basically like this one, and then this one is basically like this one. So yeah, so that is all of those. So then next up is the Dark Axe, which actually, for whatever reason, all the other stuff is right in between Epic and Legendary, but this one is, or actually I guess it's above Epic, because there is no legendary harvesting tools in the game, not even on Save the World now. So yeah, so this one is currently just the top pickaxe in everybody's locker if they have them, because there's no way, I mean, unless if you have favorited pickaxes. But yeah, so it is of course Dark Harvesting Tool, Dark Axe, Harvest the Darkness, and it's basically just the default pickaxe, but with kind of like thunder kind of design looks. And yeah, pretty darn cool pickaxe. I just don't like how these pickaxes, like the default pickaxe and this pickaxe, I just don't like how like small they are and shaped, and it's kind of weird. Like it just feels weird when you're swinging them. They're just like not long enough to feel like you're like hitting the blue circles, even though you probably are. But yeah, it sounds like this. And by the way, if you're wondering what all the say the world pickaxes sound like, they sound like this. So yeah, so pretty basic. I mean, pretty much, I believe every single one sounds just about the exact same. Some of them just sound slightly different with a little more technological advances. They sound a little different, but basically the exact same. So yeah, so then you got the last part, or the second to last part from the Batman, or the Capes Crusader bundle, which is the Batman pickaxe. So yeah, so it says DC harvesting tool, Batman pickaxe, wield the power of the bat. So it basically just has pretty easy for them. They probably just figured, hey, that will be a pretty easy pickaxe to design. Just take the Batman logo, and yeah, you can just pretty much take like a battering look, and that looks like a part of a harvesting tool or a pickaxe. And yeah, I mean, pretty much made into that. But yeah, I do actually like this harvesting tool quite a bit. It looks nice and it sounds nice. And yeah, I mean, it's Batman, my like second favorite, or my third favorite superhero, after Deadpool and Iron Man. But yeah, it sounds like this. And yeah, it kind of has like a yellowish, darkish, or yellowish, blackish contrail. But yeah, that is it for all of the harvesting tools. Finally, so yeah, so now on to gliders. Here. So first off, the gliders for this season were pretty insane, because usually, I don't know why that's favorited. Oh yeah, these were favorited because I was trying to use all of them, and I had them. If you don't know, if you favorite if you favorite stuff and then put it on random, it only cycles through those favorite things. So I was trying to, I got all these three DC gliders around the same time, so I wanted to use all of them equally amounts. So I favored them, so I could just like kind of go just randomly in between those. But yeah, so I've used every one of those quite a bit now, so I'm good. But yeah, so this season usually you get about 1 or 2 epic gliders in the battle pass, and then most like two rare gliders usually, and then like an uncommon 1 or 2. But this season there was actually no uncommon gliders. Yeah, I don't think there's literally any uncommon gliders in this whole entire battle pass or season that I got, at least. Yeah, so but this season you got 1, 2, 3, 3 epic gliders, and then you also got the first ever legendary glider from a battle pass. And then other than that, you also got 1, 2, 3 rare gliders. So yeah, so starting off, you got the junk bucket right here. Sounds like that, and it says it's sharp, it lands, what else do you want? And yeah, basically just like a better version of the other Storm Scavenger glider, which is like that epic glider, but it's basically just like the basic glider design, but with like exhaust pipes or whatever. So yeah, basically just a better version of that. So do like that glider quite a bit. But yeah, but I didn't use it too much because I got the battle bundle. And I didn't buy a single tier this season, of course, since I mainly go off Say the World V-Bucks. I don't usually spend any on tiers. I just usually buy the battle bundle and call it good, and just get the rest of it through challenges and whatnot. But yeah, so of course by this time I already had like 2 gliders, so I just kind of switched between those 2. But yeah, so then you got the spray sail right here. So yeah, so it's kind of cool. It's actually like smaller than I thought it was gonna be, but yeah, it basically deploys and then it sprays on a little collage of a lot of the Battle Royale sprays, or just the sprays in the game that are in the game so far. And it says tacked on the fly for the aerosol Cessna set. But yeah, so pretty darn cool there. And yeah, smaller than you would think actually in game. So then you got Master Mix, which is exactly what I was talking about, where somehow they managed to make a glider that's part of the Master twin turntable set that I like better, because you guys know this glider right here, it was one of my favorite gliders. It like plays music, and it's got the EQ waves and the little blasts, and even like the carbon fiber kind of tubes right there. But now you got this glider, another epic glider. So So yeah, so it deploys like that. It's actually got this kind of like llama head design, kind of like a DJ Yonder design there on the front, but then as you can hear, it actually still plays music while you're gliding. And then from the back, I mean, you just got like this like I guess DJ control booth kind of thing, or turntable or whatever, and it says mix it up or turntable set. And yeah, absolutely love this glider so much, and definitely one of my favorite gliders in the game. So then you got Pixel Pilot, which is very cool glider. It's just like a old kind of spaceship video game design here. So yeah, of course goes with Space Explorer set, like the whole Eternal Voyager stuff and whatnot. So yeah, so I mean, it even makes like those old video game sounds, and it's all pixelated and has this cool pixel design. I don't know why it goes forward. I wish it would kind of go back. I just now kind of realized that. But yeah, that's the only thing I wish is it went back, because it kind of looks weird when you're going forward, and then I guess it would kind of look weird when you're going forward, and then that's also going forward. But yeah, so just pretty darn cool. And yeah, I really like that glider. It says from the past and into the beyond. And of course you have the three styles: the green, the cerulean, which is of course my favorite style, and the red, which the red is probably my second favorite style for this, honestly. But yeah, and also you can see in the little icons right here, those little dots, those little like cubes that come out. So yeah, when you're gliding, little like cubes, little cube contrail comes out. But yeah, so definitely like that glider quite a bit. And then you got Steel Wing, yes, another dragon, but the first legendary dragon from any battle pass. Of course, there's 3 dragons in the game now. You got Lava Wing, Frost Wing, which Frost Wing I don't have, because the only legendary gliders I don't have is Frost Wing and the Royal Dragon. But yeah, so you got Steel Wing right here. Which, of course, he has that kind of unicorn-looking thing, but I think it looks a lot better on this glider than the skin. And yes, he does blow fire, but he kind of just blows it off to the side. All these other skins, or these other dragons, they blow fire like all the way across. Or Frostwing, of course, blew like ice, but this guy blows fire, which you'll see in a second. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, so definitely a lot shorter on here, but yeah, basically just a metal dragon. I definitely do like the colors, but I would still say Lava Wing's my favorite dragon glider out of the 3. But this guy's probably my second favorite. But yeah, it says utterly untamable, part of the Fortnite set. But yeah, pretty cool glider there. Yeah. Where were we? Oh yeah, but then you got the Sparkle Strider, to go with Sparkle Supreme. It says dazzle all the way down. And it sounds like that. Pretty darn cool when it deploys, and also how it sounds, but it's basically like 2 floating pieces with like some speakers or whatever. And then you got kind of like the slow dance design going like all the way around there. But and also when you glide, it actually like has this cool contrail of like kind of like this like digital platform kind of looking stuff. And it's pretty darn cool looking. And then you have Rift Rider, which is, of course, they made that, during, like, the summer, they made that, glider for Drift, but now they made another glider for Drift, or, I guess, Catalyst, which this one I actually, I'd say, they're about tied. I don't have the other one, but I'd say I like them pretty much the exact same. But yeah, this one is the Rift Rider here. So yeah, so again, it's basically like the design that's on like Catalyst and Drift's like forehead, kind of like the diamonds going down. But yeah, again, it's kind of like all just like held together with the pink lightning, and it says cruise the dimensional highway. And yeah, and when you turn, those little like back parts actually kind of like curve up and everything, and the handles definitely look pretty cool. But yeah, very simple but very, very nice glider there. Yeah. So then next up is the Victory Umbrella from the season. As you guys know, I said I like flat out wasn't gonna even try for the glider this season. Believe it or not, I managed to get 1 win this season, because other than that, I was either playing Safe World or Team Rumble, because I truly just don't care about really getting wins. Honestly, from now on, if I don't get the umbrella, I really don't care, because I actually have exactly 10 umbrellas right now, and I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of playing Fortnite for like wins and actually like really trying. I'm more just a fan of just, again, playing Team Rumble and certain LTMs and just completing challenges and getting cosmetics and whatnot. But yeah, I got with this really good guy. He was on a different server, and he kind of carried me. I still managed to get 2 kills, but I literally had, I don't, he wasn't on NAEs because I would have had like 80 or 90 ping. Because usually I have about 35 or so. NAEs I usually have about 80 or so. He must have been on like Europe servers because I literally had about 300 ping. And yeah, but we still managed to get the win. And it was on the second day of the season, which also you guys know one of my goals before I stopped trying to get wins was to get at least one win on the first day of the season, which of course you guys know last season I managed to do that with the holographic. So yeah, but this is this season's umbrella. It's literally just called X, and it says remixed and reimagined. But also another reason I was let down by the season is because I was expecting so much more from the big season 10 umbrella. But at first it was literally just this glider. Basically just one shot, but with an X on there. And as you can see, it's not actually like black. It's more like a purplish kind of oil kind of color. And then it's got like the X right there. But as you can see, it's just kind of like sharp, just like plain white. Kind of just looks like something somebody slapped on there in MS Paint or whatever. I kind of wish it looked more like that, like in the background, that type of X. Yeah. But they did actually update it because, as you guys know, my two favorite umbrellas are this one and this one. But like when they deploy, as you heard, like this one has like it's like got that like creative kind of unique palm tree design, and it has a little jingle, and it's actually two different little jingles, or pretty much the same jingle, just with one with one note and then one with a different ending note. And then this one, of course, is it has that kind of like technology kind of sound or whatever you want to call it when it deploys, and also it's holographic. But then this season, you can see this. It doesn't have any sound. It doesn't have any unique design or anything. It's literally just an umbrella. But then all of a sudden, about halfway through the season, they actually updated it. So now it is slightly unique. Still doesn't make any sound or anything, but it actually has a contrail, which is pretty darn cool because none of the other ones have contrails yet. But now when you glide with this one, it actually has like this pink and blue kind of swirl contrail, which is cool. But still, it's still not one of my favorite umbrellas. I still definitely like. I'd still say that holographic's still my favorite, then palm leaf. And then, honestly, one shot's actually grown on me quite a bit, so I'd say that one shot's actually probably my third favorite. And then probably beach umbrella, and then probably webrella, and then snowfall, and then founder's umbrella, and then the umbrella and the wet paint. And of course, you might be wondering, what about the other two that I don't have, snowflake and the paper parasol, which, as you guys know, paper parasol, I would probably rank third just after holographic, and then palm leaf, and then I'd probably rank paper parasol. But um, snowflake, I'm not a huge fan of. I just think it's too simple, and it's just, I mean, it's basically like a least unique and creative design than snowfall. I think snowfall is actually pretty creative, like how it's a snowfall or a snowman's face. But I don't know. I would rank that one pretty low, honestly. Even if I did have it. Yeah. So then the Batwing, which is the last thing that came with the Cape Crusader bundle. So it's here. So yeah, so pretty cool. Literally just like the Batwing. I don't know if it's really based off of any certain type of the Batwing, but yeah, it says Dark Knight deployed, and yeah, it's got these cool like little kind of yellow things, and it has a slight yellow contrail, and also you can kind of see in there it does have like a lot of carbon fiber as well. But yeah, so that's that. And then from the free challenges, one of the things you could unlock was the Catwing right there, and you can see when it does like a little spin, kind of like the turbo spin glider, like that. But it also has like a kind of like orangish pinkish contrail that it like has. But also when you're gliding, it has these purple boosters and a kind of purplish contrail. But yeah, just a pretty clean glider. But I think out of the three DC gliders, it's probably my least favorite. But still a pretty nice glider, and it has a little cat logo right there, and it says always land on your feet. And then last but not least, for the gliders, you got the Bat glider, which everybody was so hyped for this glider. Everybody was saying, why couldn't this have been the free glider? Because one of them you got in the bundle, this one you got from the free challenges, but this one you actually was the only one that you actually had to buy separately in the shop, and it was the same amount as any like epic glider. It was 1,200 V-Bucks, but I had to do it because I wasn't gonna get it. But then once I was like gliding into, because no matter what you're using as your glider or your back bling in Gotham City, once you enter whenever you glide in Gotham City, it will just transform your glider into this. Um, and then whatever back bling you're wearing, or if you're not wearing a back bling, it will put like one of the Batman capes on you. But yeah, here it is. It opens, it's got like a little burst, and then some bats fly around it, and then it's pretty quiet. When you're gliding, it just kind of just has like the nice like blowing fabric kind of sound. But yeah, it says on leather wings, and yeah, this one you actually, this is another reason that I really love this glider, is because not only is it like literally like Batman's, like when he's like gliding on his wings and stuff, like his cape or whatever. It's the first glider to actually like be something different, because you guys know every glider in the game you just like hang from handlebars or whatever, and then of course the umbrellas you like hang kind of like Mary Poppins would or whatever. But there's so many gliders where you could like be different, on this glider you could like sit in the throne there, like this glider you could actually be in the Batwing, and then just you could go on and on, uh, like um, these two gliders are like ships, you could actually be inside of them. This one you could sit inside of, this one you could sit inside of, these ones you could be inside of here, and then the dragons you could actually like ride, same with the shark, and then you could actually like sit in the hot ride. But no, you just always hang from them. But this one you actually lay down, kind of, or in that laying down that you'd be like on like a paraglider or whatever. And you actually like hold on kind of like a kind of cross look, and you actually literally just, no matter what skin you're using, you literally glide like Batman would. So I really hope this so far is the only glider to have like a unique glide like that. But I really hope that they keep on doing that. I think it's cool that they finally did something different like that. But yeah, so that is that. Alright, so now contrails. There wasn't any like challenges for contrails this season, so the only contrails that I got were the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the 5 from the battle pass itself. Which first was popcorn, which the contrails were pretty cool this season, because usually they're just like contrails and then maybe some things kind of switching it up a little bit. But these ones are definitely different. They like added a lot more to contrails. Of course, some contrails like have like season 6 ones like introduce like the like actual like props to contrails and whatnot. But these ones have like actual like of course, like all the way back from season 4, like you had like that. But these ones introduce like kind of like actual like things around you, not just the contrail, like little like things falling down with you, too. Um, as you can see with popcorn, you literally like go around like a little like circling little thing of grease or whatever, not grease, like kind of butter or whatever, goes around you, and then like little kernels kind of swirl around you and popcorn pops. So that's pretty darn cool. It says freshly popped. And then you got Rift Lightning, which is a very cool contrail, of course, to go with along with the drift set. It says multi-dimensional dive, and yeah, it's literally just like the pink lightning thing, which is a very cool contrail. And then you got Beat Drop, of course, the contrail I was talking about to go along with the twin turntable set, which is right here. Very cool contrail. The only thing I don't like is how it doesn't like go along with your hands, and it's kind of just like flat and then goes along. I wish it kind of actually like came from your hands and wasn't just like floating on your hands. But yeah, it says here it comes for like the beat drop, and it has a little bit from your foot. But yeah, overall very cool contrail still. So yeah. And then you got Overlay, which is right here. It says Heads Up Diving, which is pretty darn cool. I was hoping these numbers would actually be kind of reactive and like show how far you actually are from the ground. But yeah, and you can see it's actually kind of like a crosshair, like kind of like something on like a fighter jet or whatever. And when you turn it, you can see you can like match up like the green lines there and just turn it like that and everything. And yeah, pretty darn cool there, what they did with that contrail. And then last but not least, you got Celestial, which is right here, which of course would mainly go well with like the Galaxy skin. And in the locker and stuff in the Battle Pass, I thought I was going to like this contrail a lot more, but I'm honestly not a huge fan of this contrail, because in game, it honestly kind of just looks like black streaks. But then in the locker, I mean, you got like these like stars and falling stars and like all these like just cool like your hands look like stars, and then the kind of galaxy, again, if you like move it, it sticks around and stuff. Yeah, like in the locker, I just think it looks a lot better than it does in game. So yeah, probably my least favorite contrail out of the Battle Pass. I thought it was gonna be like my favorite, but no, it says Dive into Infinity. And yeah, that's it for contrails. So then wraps, this is probably the least amount of wraps I've ever got since they introduced them all the way back in Season 7. Yeah, so first up is emote camo, wherever that is. Actually, let's not. It used to show it on brutes, but brutes aren't here anymore, or they're not in like the locker. But I wouldn't show them on brutes anyway, because if you guys looked at wraps on brutes, they were like different. Like they were still the same wrap, but they really like on brutes. Most wraps were just crazy, like how big the brutes are, and then like how much the wrap is, and especially animated wraps like the World Cup wrap and like the like this wrap and everything. It looked just crazy on the brutes. But as always, I'm just gonna show them on the ARs because it's like the easiest to see, and like the easiest to see how the wraps actually look. So this is the emote camo. They also made one that you had to buy in the shop. That I didn't get. It was like emoticons, just battle royale emoticons or whatever. But this one is like battle royale emotes, so you can see like there's orange justice, Sainy, freestyling, and whatnot. Really don't like that wrap, but it's kind of cool. Because this season was kind of to just like remind and show everybody like skins and emotes and emoticons and like POIs and stuff from the first 10 seasons of Fortnite. So that's emote camo. And then you got Knighted right here, which right here looks like a matte black and red, but it's actually kind of like a shiny black and red. Of course, like right there, it's like matte black, but then right there, it's kind of like a shiny black. But yeah, I actually like this wrap quite a bit. Of course, it looks very good with my favorite style of Ultima Night, the red one, and a few other skins. But yeah, that wrap has grown on me a little bit. Still not like a huge fan, but it's definitely pretty darn cool. But then you got EQ right here, an animated wrap, and this wrap is actually very cool because, of course, a wrap for the twin turntable set. But it's got like the EQ waves, but then I can't really show it right here because, of course, you can't like really show like wraps with the emotes in the locker. But when you do emotes, or actually when other people are doing emotes, since you can't like hold out weapons while doing emotes, while other people are doing emotes near you, just like the skin and whatnot, it actually reacts with that. So it still doesn't say reactive, but it says animated. But yeah, when you do emotes, that actually turns red. So like the animation doesn't change, it's just instead of like bluish whitish, that actually changes red. So that's very cool. And then yeah, so then you got Kevin, the long-awaited Kevin wrap. Everybody was dying for this wrap for the longest time, but yeah, it's literally just like your weapon looks like Kevin, and you got the glyphs, and it's animated. And this wrap actually was epic, but they actually changed it to dark, so it was an epic wrap, but now it's a dark wrap. And I will say that I actually really do like this wrap in the locker, but then in-game, I do not like this wrap at all, because in-game it's literally just purple, kind of glowing purple. Because in-game, unless if you're like in a brute, you cannot see the glyphs. Like, no matter if you're zoomed in or what, like, I don't know why, but no matter what your settings are or whatever, you can't see the glyphs. So it kind of ruins the whole point of the wrap. And even in the brute, it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, in the locker, very cool wrap, but not so much in game. And then you got Scavenger right here, which is of course part of the Storm Scavenger set, and yeah, actually a pretty darn cool wrap right there. I actually do like that wrap quite a bit. And then you got the final wrap from this season's Battle Pass, which is Maximum Drift, right here, which is pretty darn cool. You got like the kind of like black and silver colors with like that kind of like hexagon kind of design in there, and just really cool and clean. And then you got like the animated purple or pink lightning or whatever. The only bad thing is I think like this wrap, the Fiend, and this wrap, the Turbulent, I think are just pretty similar. But I would say out of the three, my favorite is probably Maximum Drift. Yeah, and then the last one, Maximum Drift. I didn't actually buy any wraps this season. I only got Battle Pass and then the free wrap from the Borderlands X Fortnite. Of course, one of the rewards from the free challenges was a wrap called Mayhem, and from the icon, it actually just looks like it's a gold wrap right here. But it basically just makes your weapons and vehicles and whatnot basically look like a Borderlands weapon. It basically makes them look all scratched up and then kind of have that like black iconic Borderlands kind of look. Yeah, it's part of the Mayhem set. And yeah, so that is it for wraps. So now we can get going a little faster now. So toys. You got the bottle flip right here. Yes, they are bringing back old memes and whatnot, like they do like all the time. So yeah, so you got the bottle flip, and basically, you flip it and you can land it, and then this one like shoots out a little puff of confetti when you land it, and it says give it a flip. But yeah, so pretty darn cool there. But then you got the fancy flip. It says sparkling are still standing, and it's got the little like it's got like a little like French uh, Durburger face on it. Um, but yeah, and it's kind of cool when you land this one. Not only does it shoot out a little puff of confetti, it actually has like a little stream of water that shoots out, so like sparkling water. But yeah, so that's it for toys. And then music, of course, to save time. I don't. I showed them for like. I actually like let you guys listen to them for like a season or two, but ever since last season, I just show them. And of course, if you actually want to hear them, if you haven't heard them already, you can just easily search them up on YouTube. But this is like the most music I've gotten from one season, I believe. Because I actually, believe it or not, I bought one, two, three. I bought 4 music packs. Usually, I buy maybe one, if not zero, music packs a season, and there's usually like 1 or 2 music packs from like challenges. But yeah, so first off, from the battle pass, you got the final showdown, which says press play and face your rival. It's basically the music that played during the event last season, and then it actually ends with like the one arm floss for that, since he like did it at the end of the event. But yeah, pretty darn cool, like kind of dubstep rock music there, and also like music from the event, kind of referencing that, which is pretty cool. Then you got OG Classic, which kind of makes me mad because, of course, we already have OG Remix, and there's not much difference. Um, of course, this was the first from season 6 when they first introduced music packs. This was like the final one from like tier 90 something or whatever. And this one's basically just, I mean, it's the OG remix, or it's the OG song, just slightly remixed. And this is, I mean, this is basically the same thing, just without like the less kind of ambient sound or whatever. So yeah, so I would say that I do like this one better, but it's just it was also the final. Luckily it wasn't the final tier from the season. It was actually the mid one, because there's 3 music packs per season currently, and this was the middle one. It wasn't the highest tier one, but it's just got that like OG picture of Ramirez with the sniper rifle, or bolt action sniper rifle, and it says press play for a true taste of nostalgia, and this one says press play for a remix taste of nostalgia. But yeah, I just don't think they really tried with that one. They were just like, oh well, we already did OG remix, let's just do classic now. So yeah, so they did that. So okay, but then they did Sweet Dreams, which I actually like this one quite a bit. You guys know I don't really like most of the music packs that are like the girly emotes or whatever, like this one and this one. But this one's actually pretty darn good. I think because these ones are also just like the emotes music, but this one is actually like remixed and sounds like different than the emote. And yeah, and some of the parts on there are really cool. But yeah, I actually like this music pack quite a bit. It was the highest tier music pack from the season, the final one you got from the battle pass. And it says press play and live your dreams. And then you got the 2 music packs from the Major Lazer collaboration, which, as you guys know, Avicii is my favorite DJ. I have a whole playlist for him, but of course he passed away a few years ago. So ever since then, I'd say like the best DJ, I guess like the best DJ group in my opinion is Major Lazer, and then probably like Marshmello and all them. But I think Marshmello is definitely very overhyped and can get pretty generic at sometimes. um, but yeah, so these ones I think are just so good. If you haven't listened to these, definitely listen to them. But I was very happy when they did a collaboration with Major Lazer. But most of the people are just saying like, why don't you do a collaboration with somebody that's popular, or or isn't irrelevant? And like nobody knows who Major Lazer was. Like there was only like me and a few other people who actually knew what Major Lazer was. Everybody else was just like, what the heck is this stuff in the shop? But yeah, so first off, you got Default Fire right here. And it actually says Laserism remixed by Major Lazer, so I think they actually like took the default song. Both of these are based off the default song, by the way. I think Major Lazer themselves actually took like the default song and made like 2 different remixes of them. And yeah, so this one's actually like kind of like one of the bass drops or whatever. It kind of just goes in like a really cool like symphony anthem kind of one, and it's just really like cool. And then Default Vibe. This is the one that was on the trailer for the event like a couple days before it started. And it has the same description, but yeah. This one's kind of just like more like a laid back thing, but it's still pretty darn cool. So yeah, so absolutely love those. I was only gonna buy Default Vibe, but then I ended up buying Default Fire because I actually like them like just as much. They're like tied, but yeah, definitely some of my favorite music packs, without a doubt. Not my favorite music pack, but some of them. But yeah, and then after that is Llama Beat. Of course, you guys know my favorite emo of all time is Llama Bell for the reference, and since I'm a percussionist and whatnot, so they finally made a remix of Llama Bell, and it's called Llama Beat, and it says press play and demand more for needs more needs more cowbell. So I also like the description there. But yeah, so happy they finally made that. And then Cape Crusader, which is the music, which also, just like the Contrails, this is the first ever music pack that is not rare. Rarity, it's actually DC rarity. So yeah, so called Cape Crusader, and it's basically just like some heroic Batman music that you would hear on like Lego Batman or whatever. So yeah, so it's called Cape Crusader, says press play and fight crime, and it's just got like kind of like the Batman logo with yellow there. But yeah, so that is it for music packs. So now emotes, and then we can really start getting faster. So first off, we'll just go through like in the battle passes here. So yeah, so first off is the battle pass emote. So first off, you got Tralala, which I believe was the first traversal uncommon emote. But yeah, you basically just like skip along like that with that music, and then yeah, after that you got Jaywalking, which I will show in a second. But yeah, it's basically another meme dance that Fortnite took, and I was actually saying like right before this emote or thing started, or the season started, I was saying like watch there either be like there still hasn't been a whip and nay nay emote or whatever, which I don't know if they're ever gonna do, but I'm surprised they haven't. But of course they did Running Man in season 6, which was like a couple years after that wasn't popular anymore. But this one was actually popular fairly recently, so they actually did this one pretty much like in time. But yeah, so it's basically the jaywalking emote that they from those memes and stuff. But pretty darn cool. It is traversal, and here it is. So yeah, so it says don't just walk the line. It's got some pretty nice music, and yeah, just walk like that, and that is that. Then you got blowing bubbles. Right here it says get poppin', and yeah, you basically just blow bubbles. So yeah, it's a pretty good emote. I like just going up to people and blowing bubbles on them. And you got another traversal emote, which is stride right here, which is like from that meme where that guy was like dancing on the treadmill. So that's why this is traversal. And it says find a groove and hit your stride. And yeah, so pretty darn good. Not a huge fan, but I think it's pretty darn good. And then you got Breakneck, which was leaked a while ago, but it was actually the top tier emote on this one, and for whatever reason they don't do the epic emotes on tier 95 anymore. They've been doing them earlier and earlier. Like last season the epic emote was like tier 70 something, and then the final emote was actually the rare emote on tier 95 or whatever. But this season is tier 79 is actually the last battle pass emote. There's no more emotes after this in the battle pass. But yeah, it's Breakneck. It was leaked for a while, still epic, but yeah, just break it down, just don't break your neck. And it's basically just another breakdancing emote, but just like one that's continuous, because the other breakdancing emote, the breakdown emote or whatever, it stops after you do the dance. But this one is just continuous and just goes until you stop. But the music's pretty good for it. So then you got Laser Blast, which is the emote from the event, or the collaboration, which is actually the first emote. Like all these emotes just like have, like they're just like icons, but this one actually has like the world peace or whatever Major Lazer logo behind the icon. So here's that. It says major moves. You know, yeah, I think the dance is pretty good itself, but then the music is like really what I like. And yeah, I got out of the game of Team Rumble and saw all this stuff, and I thought it was really, really good. So yeah, so happy got that. And then Ride the Pony, which of course you guys might be saying, wait a minute, isn't that let me just do that. Isn't that a season 2 emote? But yes, it is. But this season they actually made it a traversal, because on Save the World there's this glitch where the default dance and Ride the Pony were traversal, but they weren't really like traversal, because most of them traversal emotes you can just like walk like slowly, and some of them are slightly faster than others or slower than others. but you can't. But like on Save the World, you were going like you could run, you could walk, you could go super fast or slow while doing either of the emotes, and then you could also go back. Like the only way you could stop it is by pulling it, like by switching inventory items or by like jumping off something. But yeah, so basically they also, along with the locker this season, they introduced emotes. So they actually, since Ride the Pony actually was on Save the World first, for all the OGs going like, oh, that was my OG emote. It actually was on Save the World first, and then they put it in the Season 2 Battle Pass. So what they did is they actually made an OG version, of course, which you actually like pull out like a little like llama thing, like the little like llama stick things. And yeah, it's still traversal, but it's like only the people who originally got Ride the Pony from the Season 2 Battle Pass got it. But yeah, you actually like, it's basically just Ride the Pony, but you actually are like holding something. So now I actually have the Ride the Pony emote. It says, since it's all the way back from Season 2, it just says express yourself on the battlefield. But it's another one of those emotes where it actually has like 2 musics. So yeah, so that's the second one there. But yeah, it's now officially traversal. But yeah, so now that every emote's on Save the World, they gave this to everybody that has Save the World so they could still use it. And then the OGs got the that other version. So yeah, so then you got burpee right here, which is literally just like the burpee workout here. And it says set a new personal best. And yeah, you just do burpees. But also, you guys know like the battle call and has like a secret thing where you just like blow it regularly, but then every once in a while you'll just like blow it and it'll just be like and it just won't work. And then also the howl emote, it usually sounds like that, but every once in a great while you'll just like have like a sheep sound. It's completely hilarious. But this one, it's like that, but those ones are like very rarely it happens. This one, it's like every other time you literally burp. For now, right now it's not doing it for whatever reason. Alright, well usually it's not like this, but yeah, usually like every other time you just burp. Let me see if I can get it to do it. There we go. So yeah, so it's just a lot more common than the other ones, because the other ones it's very rare, but this one, I mean, it's just about every other time. But yeah, so that's pretty weird that they did that, but yeah, so then you got dab stand somewhere around here. I legitimately cannot find it. Yeah, somewhere around here is dab stand. I don't know. I've probably passed it so many times now. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so yet again, another dabbing emote in Fortnite. But yeah, it says get a leg up on the competition. And then you got Featherweight, which if you guys watched the last season ender results video, I was saying I was waiting for it because it was leaked for a while since the summer stuff, and it still hasn't come out yet, so I said I was still waiting for the emote. But it was actually technically part of this season's battle pass, because there's these challenges level-headed where you unlock like different styles for skins, and that's actually how you got Dab Stand. And then right here is Featherweight. So yeah, I guess I didn't even actually end up having to buy it. It was actually ended up all this time it was just going to be a Season X free emote. But yeah, so here's that. It says do you even lift? And yeah, so happy I finally got that emote. I just they leaked it a while before. So yeah, so that's that. And then you got Hang On. I like so much uncommon emotes. It's kind of hard to find these now. Right here. So let's just talk this out. So yeah, so there's that. And then you got Sizzlin', which I've been wanting this emote for a while, so then it finally came back out and I had 800 V-Bucks, so I finally got it. I very rarely buy epic emotes, as you know, so yeah, but I finally got it. It's a lot like one of the other emotes I really like. Of course, this one where you actually have like a prop and it's like a floating table, but this one, it's kind of like at those restaurants where they cook in front of you and stuff, but you're just cooking basic burgers on a grill. But yeah, I really like the music and just the overall emote. And yeah, so that's that, and it says flip a flavor. And yeah, it's also just really cool because because you can actually, like, the grills in-game, like on Save the World and Battle Royale, they're, like, the same height, so you can go up to them and just, like, it looks like you're just grilling on those grills, which I believe I have a clip of at the end of the video. But yeah. So next up is the bat signal, which at first I didn't know what it was, but then I saw it when it like got leaked literally right before the patch notes came out. Because the like icon here, you don't really know what it is. But yeah, so that's where I like have like everything, like all the rarities, because you can see common, uncommon, and then Marvel, DC, rare, and then another Marvel and epic, and then of course like the legendary and dark rarity stuff elsewhere. Um, but yeah, so bat signal basically right here. You basically just stand there heroically, and then a little bat signal shows up next to you, and bats fly around you, and then there's just like the little like whoosh sound, and yeah, no matter how you turn it, there's the bat signal flying up, and yeah, it says, "Did somebody order Batman?" And it's really weird because on Save the World, I don't know if they're gonna fix it, but currently on Save the World, it makes the sound, but there's no bat signal and there's no bats. So literally, if you do this on Save the World, it just makes that little sound, and then you just stand there like that. So it's very awkward, uh, but also funny. Like, you'll just look over at your teammate and they'll just be like standing there, just heroically staring at the sky. So yeah, but that is that. So next up is Full Tilt, which I gotta say was my most happy, or the most happy I've been for an emote in a long time. I've been like saying like they have got to make this into a traversal emote for the longest time. And then they leaked like the Area 51 alien skin, and I was just like, ooh, now is their time. That is a missed opportunity if they don't. But they made 2 emotes, and I went over for the shop rotation and saw this, and I instantly got it. And yes, it is literally the Naruto run. You got like air and dust flying up behind you, and when you're in game, there's actually like air like flying in front of you, like you're a shooting star or something. But yeah, it says lean into it, and yes, it is traversal. It's not like full running speed, it's slower than like I would like it, but of course it can't be too fast, else then it would be like pay to win. But I would say it probably is still the fastest traversal emote. Like it's very hard to notice, but some traversal emotes are faster than others. But yeah, so happy that they actually made it, but I actually wrote on my list, because when they first came out into the shop, for whatever reason, like in the files, emotes, like before the names are leaked, they'll be like named like set underscore whatever underscore something. And I thought it was just going along with like aliens and the mysterious like kind of factor in it. And this emote was actually originally named set underscore 05 underscore AA, but then all of a sudden I went to Save the World and came back, and it was named Full Tilt. So they actually put it in there like that, and it was the same with the rest of the set. Like the skin was named set underscore something, pickaxe that it came with was set underscore something. Both of the emotes and even the description said like set underscore whatever, and then it said like part of the set whatever. So I thought the whole thing was just supposed to be like that, but no. But yeah, so happy they finally made that emote, and it has been added to my main emote wheel. This is now my main emote wheel, so now I can Naruto run when I need to. And then the other emote that it came with was Team Space, which is right here. So yeah, so it's like the alien skin. I can't remember his name, but the alien skin there, and it says humanity had its chance for the UFO set. And you can hear that kind of like alien sound. Whoops. Yeah, there. And then when you hold it up, some little hearts come up and pop, kind of like the true love emote. But yeah, I just think it was a decent uncommon emote. Of course, there's a lot of them like that now. I mean, because there was like the Team Burger and Team Tomato, which I didn't get either of those. But then there's also Team Mech, Team Monster, and the original scorecard. So a lot of them where you're just holding up signs now. But yeah. So next up is Pizza Party, which I say is like the emote. I always say like Pizza Time from the Spider-Man, or what I think it was Spider-Man 3. Whenever he brought it over and he's like Pizza Time. But yeah. So yeah, so it's just got like that little like Italian music. It's very gross to listen to through headphones because it's got like that just slimy chewing sound. But yeah, it's actually like pizza from Pizza Pit, as you can kind of see under there. But yeah, do like that emote quite a bit. And it says delicious. And it's actually part of the Pizza Pit set. And then you got Rage Quit somewhere around here, right here. So yeah, it's got like a yellow, I can't remember what that controller is called, but one of the older controllers been yellow. It says I'm out, and it's got the little like retro video game sounds. And yeah, and then the last one is statuesque to go along with the new female Love Ranger, which I didn't get, but I got the emote. Which is another emote kind of like Shaolin sit up, where you like go down and then you kind of just like sit there, and then T-pose where you just sit there. Same thing with this, you do that, and then it has a sound. It's kind of just like that angelic music or whatever, and then every once in a while you'll kind of like look around when you're not trying to be like a fountain looking statue. But yeah, it says so lifelike, and I forgot there's also another one that was related. Oh, it always looks like the Revel one. Yeah, you can see they're very similar, but the prickly pose. Yeah, so that is that, and that is finally it for all the emotes, and now it's just sprays, emoticons, and loading screens, so we can just really zoom through these last parts here. Guys, so now on to sprays, so we can go through these pretty darn quick. So first off, I will say that the sprays this season were pretty darn good. Like, they're just really cool designs and a lot more unique and cool. Of course, they're still just sprays, but very cool. So yeah, so first off, also, of course, from this battle pass, you just have a lot of stuff from like previous seasons. You got like the rocket, and then all the emoticons are like skins that have come out in the past, or the first 10 seasons, and you got stuff referencing like the rifts and previous events and previous seasons and whatnot. So first off, you have the rocket like breaking through one of the rifts, and then Frostwing, and then Moisty Mire. Fire v Ice, probably my favorite spray from the season. You guys know Ice King is probably my second favorite skin in the game, and I absolutely just love that. And it's got the Prisoner, which I also absolutely love. And yeah, it's just got that kind of like yin and yang type thing there. And then you got Butterfly, of course, referencing like the Butterfly riffs. And then Sparkle Specialist right there. And then Risky Reels, must be on the next page. Yeah, Risky Reels right there. And then Kevin Runes, another really cool one with Kevin and like all of his runes and whatnot. And then Tilted Map, which is literally just like how Tilted looks like on your map when you open it up, or your mini map or whatever. And then you got Dusty Devastation. What I really hope happens, like, I'm pretty sure we're getting a new map anyway, but if not, then I really hope this happens again. Dusty Depot gets out of here, because I hate Dusty Depot so much. And then you got Black Knight right here, which is the last like battle pass spray. But yeah, pretty darn cool one. Him just looking like he's standing in the line of fire with his black shield. But yeah, so then the other sprays were just from like challenges and whatnot. So yeah, so like from these, or missions, I guess. So yeah, so then from the missions you got you have Drift right here. And then from the second one, you actually got Catalyst, which originally was going to be a free spray to celebrate the new Middle East servers, but then it ended up just becoming a free spray through these missions. So they ended up making another spray to celebrate Middle East servers, which I'll show you in a second. But yeah, so that is a Catalyst spray right there, and it's got like the kind of Season X, like pink and blue kind of look on there, which is pretty darn cool. And then you have Rust Lord. I don't know why I wrote them in these ways, or in this order, because they're kind of out of order. But yeah, you got Rust Lord, kind of him just like walking away from a explosion right there with this little Unreal Engine badge. So yeah, so most of these like sprays and emoticons are kind of like the original version of the skin, and then everything else is for like the new version of the skin and whatnot. And then you got Technique. That's another emoticon right there. And it's probably because I'm looking at sprays and I'm looking at different emoticons, because usually the first ones would be emoticons and then the second ones would be sprays. For like the skins that required like 2 missions to get all this stuff. But yeah, so Technique, wherever her second one is, what was her second spray? Or what was her second challenge? Was it Blockbuster? There it is. So yeah, so that is the Technique spray. And then you got the 2 free sprays from the challenges with the from the 2 free challenges. I haven't changed this back yet. From the 2 free Borderlands X Fortnite challenges. Yeah. But so you got let me see if I can find them here. So you got first off, Crunk Bunny, somewhere around here. Oh yeah, right here. So yeah, so that's the first one right there. And then you got this one, which is Psycho, which is literally like the main guy from Borderlands face, and yeah. And then you got Stay Smooth, which is the spray that I was talking about for the actual like celebration of the Middle East servers, which this is, I believe, the first animated uncommon spray. But yeah, it's basically just like the spray, and it's actually like faster animated, but yeah, it's kind of just that like shine. As you can see, like most animated sprays, it's like kind of like slower, but that one's pretty darn fast. Yeah. So then you got going back to the missions, you got Pixel Blast right there, and then from the Batman challenges, or the Gotham City challenges, or whatever the challenges were called, you have Battering, which is right here, so like a giant battering in the wall or whatever, and then the Bat, which is like kind of just like a spray, kind of like is like how you'd mark things in Batman v Superman or whatever, the Batflick Batman. And then the last ones here is from this one. You got the Ultima Night spray, pretty cool colors there and everything. And then from the free Zone Wars challenges, you could get a Zone Wars spray, which is right, I know it's somewhere around here. Yeah, oh, the last one here, because it starts with a Z and it's in alphabetical order. But yeah, basically like the back bling, or the style for the backboard, with the Zone Wars there. And there's another leaked Zone Wars spray, but that one still hasn't come out, so I think they just replaced it with this one. But yeah, so that is it for sprays. So then emoticons, starting out, you got Red Knight, Boogie Bomb, cracks off like the crossed candy canes there. Popcorn, kind of referencing the season 4 emote, I would imagine. And then Life Preserver. And then Cool Pepper. There's a few other pepper sprays, but this is like the latest one, the Cool Pepper. And then you got Cross Swords, right there. And then Sweaty, of course, along with the pepper spray, there's like multiple different versions of him. There's also one with like the skull character guy. There's always like him in like a different kind of look, and this time it is Sweaty. And yeah, so then from the challenges, from like the first ones, for the ones that required 2, you got like emoticons instead of sprays. So yeah, so for this one, you got Rust Lord, and then for this one, Technique, and then the next one, where is that one? Oh yeah, DJ Yonder. Him with like 2 musical notes. And then last but not least for our emoticons is Sparkle Specialist, wherever I think she was on Team Spirit there. So yeah, so that's it for emoticons. So that is it for like most things. Now I just gotta go over the loading screens real quick, and then we will be on to Save the World finally. So yeah. So first off is Rocket Ride. And also the loading screens, like the sprays this season, are very cool because they're actually like artwork. They're created. A lot of them are created by the same person. So I don't. They weren't just like fan. I thought they were like fan art originally, but they're obviously like they kind of recruited some artists or whatever to do some things for them. But yeah. So first one is Rocket Ride, and then next up is Suit Up with like the 4 styles of the wild card mask. And then Downtown Drift, kind of like the downtown drop thing, but instead of drop, it's drift. And then Bottomless Pit. Some of these are really weird. Yeah, like they have like random skins, but they're just like how they're shaped and stuff. It's cool, but they're kind of weird, and some of them are kind of creepy. But yeah, and then you got Cuddle Up right there. And then Under the Stars. And I'm not gonna read like the description because it just says like who they're created by. But yeah, you can pause and see if you really want to see that. And then sliced up right there. And then Vengeance, pretty cool one there. And then bombers, like with the three, like bright bomber, dark bomber, and beach bomber. Um, and then Nevermore, yeah, Nevermore right here. Which is that, which kind of makes me mad because there's like some things that are so cool, but they're off-centered. Because then like, because you guys know I have OCD, and it just like really bugs me with some of these things. And they're on the same page too, but this you can just see it's off-centered. Like he's more to the left than he is to the right, and like his feathers are all like smushed up on the side, and then on the other side they're like free. But then also on that same page you got this really cool banner icon, but then when you actually like put it on or whatever, you can see it's like over to the left farther than the right. I don't know why they did that, and it's just not centered. Like, I really hope they fix that, because of course I probably still won't use it, because there's only like a couple banner icons I actually use. But it just still bugs me. So yeah. uh, so that is that. So then you got after Nevermore you got Boost right there. And then Crackshot Mural, very nice, and this one's actually very nice and symmetrical, as you can see. Yeah. Um, so then after Crackshot Mural, you got Firewalker right there, and they actually have some Save the World weapons. Of course, they're pretty bad weapons, but you can see on this both sides you got, again, this one's also very symmetrical. But on both sides you got the Dragon Fire shotgun, pretty bad shotgun, and then you also have on both sides you have the dragon, I believe the Dragon's Tooth sword or whatever. I can't remember what it's called because pretty much all the dragon weapons are pretty bad. Yeah, so I don't really use any of them or anything. I just put them all in my collection book. Yeah, so then you got Hands Off right here. And then Eruption, which is kind of cool. It's got like the skull and the eruption there. And then Wave Riding right there. And it's not animated. If I don't know if it looks like that for you guys, but on my screen the wave kind of looks like that. But when it's small, it looks like that. But it's not animated. It just looks like that when it's smaller. Yeah. So then after that, that is actually all the loading screens from the battle pass. But then this week you kind of had weekly challenges. They're actually just called limited time challenges, and they're basically just challenges that you completed throughout the season where you get XP and then some battle stars. But of course, since I'm tier 100, it just shows all XP. But yeah, you would just get XP and battle stars, and then on the third day you would always get the loading screen, and then you could get the secret battle star. So they're still technically weekly loading screens. Yeah, just different. They're not like weekly challenges. So yeah, so these aren't necessarily in order. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But yeah, so first off, you got Brute Squad. Of course, most of these were referencing like skins coming to the shop soon. This was the first thing that like leaked X-Lord and the Brutes. Yeah. So also after that, you got Shootout at Sundown. Hopefully, I can find these somewhat quick since I have so much loading screens now. Yeah, somewhere around here. Um, um, Holy cow. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, so this one says this town ain't big enough, and it's got those skins, and then also brought back those skins. Of course, that one's went in the shop back in like season 8 or something. Yeah, it was teasing those two new skins and whatnot. And then you got the Leftovers. It's another dark one, which blends in a lot with the rest of the or with a lot of the other loading screens. Yeah, somewhere around here. I guess it would be towards the end since it starts with a T, too. Yeah, things like loading screens and emotes are kind of getting annoying and hard to find because since I have so much of them now, they're just like they get buried in there. Yeah, here it is. So, Leftovers teasing like the new different skins for Beef Boss and Tomato Head, but like the leftover variants of them. Yeah, it says get a taste for survival, put a leftover set. And also like the other skins that came along with towards the end of the season with the combine and everything. um, 3 of those skins, but only one of them has been out so far. I don't think the other 2 have so far yet. I can't remember, but yeah. So then Junkstorm teasing like the Junk Rift item and the skin that like came along with it. So that's J, so I'd be farther up. But yeah. So somewhere around here, here it is. So it says "Let It All Rain Down." Basically, the skin Infinity, I believe, is the name. But yeah, part of the Starwalker set. Basically, using the junk rifts to drop cop cars and dinosaurs and stuff. Which that was pretty fun this season. I actually got more kills than I thought I would with the junk rift. But yeah, junk rift, I think I like it quite a bit, and it's pretty darn fun. But I don't know if it'll be in the game next season. I just don't. It doesn't seem like a web or item that would stay in the game, but who knows. So yeah, so next up is the return, which I can't remember which one this one was. Oh yeah, this was the one when the island came back, as a like a rift zone. So it's like the return of Kevin. Um, Somewhere around here. Oh yeah, here it is. So yeah, so basically it's just like one of the farmer skins. I can't remember her name, but she's just basically watching over Fatal Fields with Kevin the Cube on the new island, which also had like a hint of motel, kind of motel and the island returning. And it says Darkness Rises once more, and that's also kind of where it spawned in when it first came back. Was kind of over Loot Lake around that area. Um, so yeah, so and then you got Twilight Flight, which this one was actually unlocked. This one was actually unlocked from the breakpoint or the 0 point challenges. Once you completed any one challenge, so I got it once I got to tier 100. You got this loading screen, which is yeah, just kind of like a nice little like the battle bus going around at night or like at sunset. But yeah, so basically I just did these. So that's why I was wondering how you're gonna get the secret skin, or if there was a secret skin this season. Um, because like it was like reach battle pass tier 100, and then you had to unlock season level mission rewards, complete battle pass missions, complete prestige missions, but you had to complete all of them. So I was just like, well, what else is there to do to get the secret missions? So then they just add, or the secret skins. So then they just added in the meteoric rise mission to get it. And also completing any of these 3 challenges is how you unlock the slow dance. And then the red version, you actually had to complete all these challenges to get that. But yeah, so that was that loading screen. So next up is Catastrophic, which is teasing like the weird like hazmat cat skin, which I thought was really weird. But yeah, it says Radiate Confidence. I don't know what's with them and confidence and all that this season. But yeah. Then Summer Slurp, which was like right around when Moisty Merman got all the new styles, and also like when Moisty Mire returned, kind of, but also kind of just went right over Paradise Palms, so it's kind of just a mix of the two called Moisty Palms. But yeah, so that is somewhere around here, I would think. Let's see here. Holy cow, yeah, I think from now on, oh yeah, here it is. So I think from now on, I probably might not show, I'll show like the Battle Pass loading screens, but I don't know if I'm going to show the weekly loading screens, because I think since I'm like playing Sailor World a lot more, I'm probably not going to complete all the challenges from now on. Of course, I've completed literally every single challenge, including weekly, event, anything challenges since literally Season 5, the first full season I played. But I think from now on, I'm probably not going to complete all of the stuff. But even if I do, or even the ones I do get done, I don't think I'm going to show them, because I'm just getting way too much loading screens now that it's taking up way too much time to find all of them and whatnot. But yeah, so here is Summer Slurp. It says Moisty ended to Summer Fun, but yeah, I was also teasing that skin right there. I can't remember the name of it or of her. And then you got Gothic, which I don't know why it's not up there. That's kind of weird, because I'm pretty sure it was DC rarity, unless they just like took it out of the locker. Because I could have swore it was DC rarity, and that because it was DC rarity actually, because I remember it was the first thing that was part of the. Oh yeah, they changed it. Yeah, because this was actually DC rarity. Because this was actually the week. It came during the week that the Batman event started, and this was the first DC rarity that came into the game, pretty much confirming that it was a Batman crossover. But for whatever reason, now it's just uncommon. So this was DC rarity, but not anymore, I guess. So it says Gothic, watch over the city. So basically, it's like Gotham City there. And then this one is still DC rarity, but yeah, it's called the Bat and the Cat. It was another one of the things that you unlock from the free challenges. It says out of the Batcave and into the Battle Bus, part of the DC set. And yeah, so you got that. And then you got Ready or Not, which I believe was the one for the Combine. So let me find that one now. Oh yeah, here it is. So yeah, so welcome to the Combine. Basically, just like that was teasing those skins and whatnot. And, yeah, for when the Combine came into the game. Yeah. So next up is a pretty big one. It hit the road. Which why it's so big is because again, what I was talking about with that I think that they're planning to do a lot more with the Save the World set and stuff. Is because like from Save the World, of course, yeah, you can unlock the pickaxes. But how you unlock those is getting to certain levels and then using those upgrade points to upgrade it and stuff, and then you just kind of get them, um, and then everything else you just unlock like gold or banner icons or whatever. But this was like the first ever like direct like mission completion just reward, like first reward just directly from completing something, which I did like memorize where it was. It was right around here. But yeah, so that's why this is pretty big. This pretty much confirms that in the future, from now on, Save the World might actually be you might actually be able to unlock more than just like banner icons and gold and whatnot, which I cannot find it. Like, can you only equip it in Save the World? Because I know it's like somewhere right around here. Um, yeah, it's also a pretty darn nice loading screen as well. For the first loading screen off, here it is. So yeah, so it is part of the Save the World set. It says earned in the Hit the Road event and Save the World. So it wasn't really hard. It was just time consuming. You had to complete you had to escort Bebop, complete complete Hit the Road 3 times. You didn't have to do it without any damage or anything. You just had to do it 3 times this week. You can still do it right now, or for me anyway, you can still do it right now. But yeah, so I got it. And yeah, it's basically just hit the road with the van and the V23 radio station and whatnot. The only thing that kind of sucks is this is pretty much like everybody's least favorite Save the World event of all time, and it's the first time we actually got something to really memorize it by besides loading screens, besides banner icons. Like, we actually got a loading screen, but like nobody wants to remember this event and nobody wants it back. And then last but not least, you got Last Stop, which is everybody's like favorite loading screen from this one. It's basically showing that there's like going to be a new map or whatever, and yeah, it's basically just a sunset with some of the most iconic skins in the game. I mean, you got Ramirez and Jonesy, and then Skull Trooper, Cuddle Team Leader, and then Beach Bomber and Drift, just basically waving by to the battle bus. And a lot of people are saying that the bus driver is going off to the new island or whatever. And yeah, it says last stop, thank you, bus driver. So yeah, so that is it for the loading screens, and not only that, that is it for pretty much all of Battle Royale. The only other things I have to show is, of course, the loading screen that I don't have yet, but I will unlock tomorrow, is, of course, the Season X loading screen, which I already showed. Showcase art for Season X, because, of course, ever since Season 7, you always unlock the, like, seasonal loading screen that it shows, like, while you're loading up the game through the season, because, of course, first one you got Season 7, Season 8, and then Season 9, so now there's Season X. Yeah, and then the other thing is banner icons, which we'll just show real quick. So yeah, so again, banner icons are also pretty good this season too. You got like the Dragon Egg, the one of the knights, can't remember the name of the male one, but like the male knight from season 2, a rift, literally Kevin the Cube, like when he started cracking and stuff, like Dark Voyager's helmet, like a disco llama with like a lion background with some of the disco glasses or whatever. And then like the little flying llama thing, and then the like kind of digital sunset, which would be very cool. It's a very cool idea for a loading or for a banner icon, but just really need to level it out, make it symmetrical. I don't know why it's off centered like that. And then like 2 cowboy hats or whatever. a boombox, double pump, um, and that is it. And then from whatever else, of course, I'm still just using this one. This is my main Battle Royale banner icon since I unlocked tier 100. Probably my rarest and hardest to get banner icon from Battle Royale. But then also from the free challenges, from the Borderlands ones, you could get like the main Borderlands logo right there, and they still have that thing where like when you go onto them, they're like all fuzzy, and then you have to wait for them to clear up. So yeah, like that. But yeah, you got that, and then you got the Batman logo, which is pretty darn cool, literally just like the Batman logo. And then this one, which was supposed to be the second ever like free YouTube drop stuff, because you guys know the free YouTube drop stuff. Last season, you got like the red line wrap and then the 2 sprays or whatever. In this one, I actually legitimately, this one was not in the afternoon for me. It was actually at 6 a.m. in the morning for me, and I was going to set like an alarm or just have my laptop sit there on the premiere overnight. But just to be safe, I actually legitimately stayed up all night just to watch like the Batman trailer premiere it was literally like 10 seconds long. I thought it was going to be like a 5-minute video, like premiere of it. But no, it was literally just that. And then there was a problem where anybody who actually watched it didn't get it. So then instead of just like, being a professional company and just uh, coding it so then people who actually watched the video got it, and it was actually like still an exclusive banner icon stuff for people, who like me who literally stayed up all night to watch a 10-second video. No, they just got lazy and were just, oh, let's just give it to everybody. So yeah, it's just a free banner icon that everybody got now. But just so you know, I did actually stay up, and yeah, so this should be more exclusive, but it's really not now that everybody has it. And also, from completing every single weekly challenge ever since Season 7, you always got like the banner icon for completing all of them. Of course, Season 7, you got like this one, and then Season 8 you got this one, then 9 you got this one. But since this one wasn't weekly challenges, or this season wasn't weekly challenges, it was like the missions, there wasn't one. So yeah, so that's, I believe, pretty much it for Battle Royale. So now we can finally go to Save the World. So yeah, and also, of course, I might go up another level or two with whatever, like, the rest of the out-of-time challenges and whatnot. But yeah, so overall, basically, I got to, like, level 75 this season, which is pretty good, especially since I got to level 100 last season. But my overall level is 587 now. And yeah, so now on to Save the World, finally. Alright guys, so finally on to Save the World. The good thing about this this part of the video is I just did a video on Save the World where I talked about a lot of stuff over the past 10 seasons, or ever since I've been on Save the World, since it was like early Season 7. But yeah, so there's not as much to talk about on here, but still a few things to go over. So yeah, so first off, my commands. So if I showed my like hero loadouts on that video. If you haven't checked that video out, definitely make sure to go do that. Yeah, so, but basically I slightly showed my hero loadouts, but some of them are the same, but some of them are different. But yeah, these are my hero loadouts now. So, of course, number 1 is Outlander, which I did change up a few things there. Yeah, so now I still have like Survivalist and 4 on the floor and whatnot. But now I got it, so like my bear, because once you get into like late end game, Teddy really does not hold up. He's really not that great of a gadget. So just to make him a lot better, I put overbearing and bear with me, so increases Teddy duration by 4 seconds, and overbearing increases Teddy range by 2 tiles. Enemies take more damage from Teddy based on distance, up to 40% at max range. And then I also added Azalea Clark with space technology, since I am heavily on energy damage. Like pretty much almost every single one of my schematics or weapons has energy on it, since it's like just the best overall element, since no matter what you're fighting, it does 75% damage to anything. I really love me some energy damage. So yeah, and that's also very useful, because not only do my weapons like do energy, but this is only like ability. But since I also have Cyberclops as my commander, it makes Teddy deal energy damage. So does my Seismic Smash, and my Shock Towers. So all of my abilities with Cyberclops are now 15.5% stronger, which is pretty darn nice. And then now here's my new favorite loadout. I was talking about it on the last video, or one of the videos, and I absolutely love this loadout. I've just like pretty much non-stop been playing as this, except for like when I need to play as other loadouts or whatever. But yeah, this thing, she like with with this loadout and with this team perk, I've never seen any loadout in the game shred as high power level enemies as fast as this can, and survive as long, because basically with Breakbeat Wildcat as your commander, eliminating 4 enemies in 9 seconds grants Rock and Riff, which increases damage by 50% and melee attack speed by 32%, decaying over 8 seconds. So yeah, so pretty much no matter what, uh, um, I pretty much always have Rock and Riff if I'm in combat, so I'm like always doing 50% more damage and whatnot. It also makes you so you can harvest quicker with your melee attack speed. If you're a ninja, it's pretty darn good for that, but also you can mine faster since melee damage and attack speed also counts for your pickaxe. But then with the team perk, you got Totally Rockin' Out, which came with the event questline hero that you got, Dennis Jr., which you got on the final quest. But he's a pretty bad hero because he's like an axe hero, and there's not really any good axes in the game, so he's pretty bad. But he came with my new favorite team perk in the game, which is Rock and Riff. Also increases crit rating by 160, decaying over 8 seconds, and every time you get Rock and Riff, even if it's not fully decayed, it heals you 73.75 base health. So literally, like every 3 enemies, I heal like a fourth of my health. So it's very hard to kill me when I'm using this loadout. So yeah, so my previous commander that I was using, of course, Tactical Assault Sledgehammer I still use, and since they added the SMG subclass, now, of course, since I luckily can still like use my Silent Spectre and whatnot, because they added, instead of just assault damage, it also, or critical damage, it increases assault and SMG critical damage by 75%. And then since I love my Pulsar, favorite weapon in the game, and also like with the Staccato Shadow, there just some really good shotguns there. I also have Critical Blast, so it increases shotgun critical damage by 75%. So yeah, so then also I have at least, I believe I have 1 crit rating on my Staccato Shadow and my Pulsar. So then that, and then I have 1 or 2 crit damages on both of those. I believe just 1 crit damage on both. But then I also have that plus 75% more crit damage, and that critical rating, and that 50% damage. My shotguns, ARs, and SMGs just do insane amounts of damage. I mean, pretty much any weapon is good with this loadout, pretty much. And then again, since I love my energy damage, I am using Cyberclops, so not as my commander, of course, but he still has a 20% chance to zap nearby enemies for 58% of damage dealt, as long as it's energy damage. And then, of course, you have to have, for Totally Rockin' Out to activate it, you have to have 2 Totally Rad heroes. So I have Subwafers with Main Stage Quinn and Fumble with Varsity Hero. So Main Stage Quinn, she drops or when you're harvesting metal stuff, she drops Subwafers, which basically you consume when it activates Totally Rockin' Out. But I've never, I mean, the only time I used them is just to like have fun with like Rachel or whatever. We'll just like be sitting there eating Subwafers. But really, I never need to use them because there's not been one chance when I like need Rock and Riff and don't have it. Like if I need it, I have it. So I've never had to like actually consume a Subwafer. Because then on top of Breakbeat Wildcat also being as my commander, I have Fumble, which eliminating enemies has a 7% chance to fumble a football, and once you simply just walk over one, it also activates Rock and Riff. So yeah, then I just got Stationary Hover Turn and Airstrike. And then my ninja loadout, which is pretty much the exact same. The only thing that I added was Battle Beat. So it's if you don't use her as your commander, you have to eliminate 10 enemies in 9 seconds. So the only time I usually get Rock and Riff with this loadout, since she's there, is usually only when I'm doing like storm chests or encampments. But it is nice when I do get that because it does increase my melee attack speed by 32%, damage by 50%. But yeah, and then the only other thing I changed was Legendary Blade, because for my collection book I got like a Legendary Mythic Hero, and I got Swordmaster Ken. So during Shadow Stance it increases sword damage by 25%, which is pretty nice. Then my Constructor loadout, I believe, is pretty much the same as last season, still working very, very nicely. Same with Sub-Zero at Zenith. I believe the only thing it changed was Overbearing. I believe that's the only thing it changed. And then my farming loadout, I believe pretty much the same, but I believe I just added this season. Can't remember if it was last season or this season, but yeah, I added can't remember her name, Valkyrie Rio or whatever. So it increases anti-material charge impact by 245%, and adds knockback, just to kind of contribute to the farming loadout. And then I got, of course, my jail build loadout, which this thing works so well. I've like never failed with this loadout. The only time I have is when the very, very rare occurrence happens of a smasher or two spawning on the first like wave. Because if you don't kill any enemies, no more waves come, and so that means like no smashers or mini bosses. But if not, then yeah, that's pretty disastrous. But yeah, basically I just have absolutely nothing that can damage enemies, because in a jail build you don't want to damage or kill anything if you don't truly have to, because sometimes you'll like kill a blaster just to get him out of there, and that doesn't really matter. But yeah, so basically I just have stuff to make my base stronger, last longer, and trap durability just in case if my wall lights or floor launchers run out or whatever, but nothing that damages enemies. So yeah, so the Ice King is my commander. Like it already snares enemies standing on structures affected by base by 15%, and then every 15 seconds enemies that melee attack structures affected by base are frozen for 4 seconds, so that just really stalls them and stuff. Then recycling, just because there's nothing else you can really have there for a jail build, and you might as well, it takes a lot of mats to build them, so you might as well get some of those mats back. Mega base, don't really need him, but I just put him there, because why not? And then power modulation is very nice because it heals the base 4% of max health every 10 seconds. And I also have a legendary roll on my wall lights that heals it. Heals like 4.8% of max health every 10 seconds. So yeah, so that's very nice because then I only need to actually go and manually repair them myself if I really have to. But if not, my wall lights in this will do it for me. Lofty Architecture just simply increases building health affected by base by 28%. Hotfix increases building repair speed by 10%, so like if I do need to repair stuff quickly, it will repair a lot faster. And then Tough Traps just to increase trap durability by 17.5%. And then Slow Fuel and Adrenaline Rush. And then I got my Endurance Mode thing, because now that I can actually like host Endurance Mode, of course I did it on my Stone base, but now that I can actually host like on my Twine base, this is for like when I'm hosting, because when I'm doing it with other people, of course I'll be running my like Zenith loadout. But when I'm doing it by myself or hosting for other people, I'll use Machinist Harper to have the increased trap durability by 52.5%, then supercharged traps, and then it's basically my main constructor loadout, but instead of Mega Base Kyle as my commander, I have Machinist Harper just to have that a lot more trap durability, and I have Slow Field and Banner. Those are all my loadouts. Still haven't used my 9th one. And then yeah, and I did say I'd probably be max power level by the end of the season, but sadly I am 130. Max power level is 131 in about one rectangle. It's like 131.16 or something like that. But in order to get there, you have to have like all mythic leads, and you have to use the 2 mythic survivors, which you can see I definitely did change up my survivor squads a lot. This is probably the best they've ever looked, but sadly I still need one more mythic survivor right there, or mythic lead right there, and then I also still need to get some personality matches for those. But yeah, definitely very nice when there's legendary survivor missions and whatnot. But yeah, you can see I got a lot more matches, and my survivor squads are just overall looking a lot better. Got a lot of trap durability, and yeah, just very a lot better. So by the end of next season, I would be honestly astonished if I wasn't parallel 131. But yeah, so but it should be there by the end of next season. But yeah, I am 130, so just right there. But as you can see, I actually have no epic survivors anymore. All my survivors are just epic and mythic. So yeah, so all my leads there, only missing one right there, and then these are just like extra survivors just in case. Yeah. And then my profile, of course, I've been max level for a long time, but my actual, like, because you don't go anywhere past 310, but if you go on Fortnite DB, it actually shows you how far you are past 310, and I'm like actually level like 470 something. So yeah, so quite a ways past 310 now. Yeah, so and then my armory, my resources currently looking like that, pretty darn good. I've had more this season, but overall they are still pretty darn good. Of course, like I'm pretty much good for life on like gold and whatnot as long as I just keep on farming. And a while ago I stopped opening mini llamas, so I've currently saved up 55 just because. Yeah, and just looking pretty darn good on most of all materials now. Of course, especially since they upped like the 4x missions and whatnot. Yeah, and then the schematics, what I was talking about from the last video, I already talked about like all these schematics in detail. Of course, that's what that video was about. And ever since then, there's only been a few schematics that I 130 god rolled, which was right here, the ear splitters. Yeah, so I did make that 130 god roll. You can see the rolls right there if you want to pause and look at them or whatever. Yeah, so that is now 130 god roll because Sir Lancelot was like the best spear in the game. But a lot of people say now it's the ear splitter. I'd say they're about tied because I'd say the Sir Lancelot is better for just like single target damage or just like the taking care of mini bosses and stuff with the joust ability. But then the ear splitter, the ability that it like whatever it's called, the sonic pulse, it damages and knocks back nearby enemies, of course making them dance. But it also can provide a temporary damage buff, which it makes like for like a damage, for example, for like a weapon like that has like 77,000 damage. After I do the special attack with this, this will do like it'll do like 81,000 damage. So it's like 5,000 extra damage, which is kind of nice. But it also this one I would say is better for like crowd control. Like this is more like better against crowds, but then this is probably better against like single targets and stuff. And then the only other weapons I've made 130 god rolls since then, I think, was the ear split or the surround pound, which yes is another thing from the boombox, which I'd say was a pretty darn good set this season, the past two seasons, because last season of course we had the retro sci-fi set, which is still my favorite set overall, but this season now we had my second favorite set, which is the boombox, and I believe I actually 130 god rolled more weapons from the boombox set than I did the retro sci-fi. If not, they're about tied. But yeah, this is honestly my new favorite hammer in the game because its special attack is you slam into the ground, and then it does kind of like a seismic smash type thing that like a Outlander would do. It basically just has like you like smash with like a damage pulse, and then it has like 2 more damage pulses in front of you, and then of course like the rest of the side, like damage, stunning or knocking back an enemy causes nearby enemies to dance. Yeah, the reason why I like this better than the Huskorper is still my second favorite, is just because the ability on the Huskorper, the black hole ability on the Huskorper is very nice. How you pull in enemies and do tons of damage, and then just for like nice crowd control and how the expanding ring of damage and stuff. It's very, very nice, and also for just like single target, this one's definitely better because it just overall does like a decent more damage. A decent more damage and stuff, so it's like better against single targets and stuff. But this one is without a doubt, like, it's not much, it's like it's like almost as good single target. I would say the Huskorper definitely is still better single target, but this one's still pretty decent. But this one's ability is, I would say, overall just slightly better than the Huskorpers, so they're very close, but the surround pound is definitely, I'd say, better. And yeah, this paired with my favorite weapon, the Pulsar 9000, are an absolutely nasty combo because you just got like the Pulsar, especially with the loadout I'm using, because you got you shoot downrange with the Pulsar, have the shocking energy ability damage stuff, and then you eliminate half the enemies there and then get Rock and Riff, and then whatever remaining enemies there is, you just take and smash down the surround pound and eliminate them and do any shocking things to any more nearby enemies. So it's just the crowd control and just the insane damage that you can do with these two weapons together is just crazy. So those are the only 2 weapons I've 130 god rolled since then. But yeah, all these favorited weapons right here are 130 god roll, of course. So yeah, we're definitely getting a lot there. Because I know there are people with a lot more 130s, but a lot of people just upgrade a lot of weapons to 130s, but most people don't have any, no matter how long they've been playing. Like, a lot of people don't have much more than, like, I'd say, like, most people, like, the most anybody actually has 130 god rolls is probably, like, no more than 80, honestly, because there's some people with, like, 300 130s, but chances, the chances of those actually being god rolled is very, very low. It's, I mean, the most anybody has is, like, I believe 90-something 130 god rolls. So yeah, so by the end of next season, we'll probably be getting around there, and yeah, because I just have an insane amount now. And I even got all my gas traps too, but as I said on the last video, my other traps aren't like god rolled or whatever, because they do perfectly fine in endurance how they are, as long as they're like 130 or whatever. They're just like blue rolls with like one purple roll or whatever, and but then the gas traps is like the trap that you use the most, and it's the most universal and uh, whatnot, and just does the overall most damage, and also has the affliction damage and stuff. So I just decided to god roll those, and yeah, I replaced all the gas traps on my twine base with those ones, so now it does even better. Um, but yeah, so also on my Twine Endurance base, of course, I can host it. And last season, I believe I was only on like wave 13, and then they changed it this season, so it was like impossible to do just about because they added like all these spawns, so the build limit was so small you couldn't even build, and so that kind of outraged the community because you pretty much couldn't even do endurance because you just couldn't build that much. Um, and then also some of the trap tunnels were conflicting on other trap tunnels because like their spawns were in the way, and then so it would like destroy other trap tunnels, and it just would not work. So then they update it so it's still kind of the same, but now certain amplifiers from certain directions don't get attacked, and now some amplifiers that didn't get attacked before still get attacked, or now get attacked. So it's still kind of annoying, but as you can see, my now max wave is 22 out of 30. But the other thing that's kind of cool about that is I probably could easily get 30 waves if I had like a full squad of Zeniths and stuff. I just haven't tried yet. But 22 is actually solo. I've only done my Twine Endurance solo so far. And so yeah, so that 22 waves is actually solo, which is pretty darn good. I know there's a lot of people who do it solo to 30 all the time, but yeah, Twine Endurance is 22 is still pretty impressive. Um, so yeah, and then my backpack, just I mean stuff, and yeah, all that. I don't keep anything that's like 3-star below anymore. For the stuff that I really don't need excess amounts of. Um, yeah, and if you're wondering why like I don't have like anything, it's because just wait for it. The rest of it is in my storage here. So yeah, and just so you guys know, I'm probably one of the like 2% of the Save the World community that has insane amounts of like ore and crystal and stuff that didn't dupe it, because like the last thing I would want to do on my account is do anything that could maybe slightly get me banned. So yeah, so none of this is duped. This guy actually did give me duped traps and stuff, because of course that's like one of my least favorite things right now, just people using dupe traps and public missions and whatnot. But what I did I mean, he literally gave me like 3,000 broadside, 130 god roll broadsides, gas traps, um, uh, um, and flame grill floor traps. And what I did was I took them onto my storm shield, and then I dropped all of them and then left. So yeah, so all of this is literally just from farming and stuff, and I don't trade or anything like that either, because I think trading them Save the World's pretty dumb. The only time like I ever would, like the only times I ever have is like a while ago I traded for like some sleek, and I mean that's about it. Like I only have ever traded for like some sleek and some mechanical parts and stuff. Or I mean some mechanical parts and whatnot. So yeah, so that is that. So I have like I added it up last night because this guy was wondering in the Discord last night. But yeah, I have a few thousand of like each ore and whatnot, and as you can see, I got all these extra mats left over from rebuilding my whole twine base for endurance a while ago. But yeah, so you can just see all that, and yeah, it's very nice to have. I can just grab it out when I need some more, put some more in when I have extra on me or whatever. But yeah, I'm just struggling to keep enough storage space to keep all this stuff in here. Um, but yeah, so that is pretty much it for all that stuff. And yeah, so here's the locker, of course, with the season 11. We're hoping to get the rest of the locker, which of course would mean skins and back blings and wraps. I believe there's nothing else coming to Save the World, because unless they add launch pads, which I honestly kind of do want them to, because it would be kind of nice to get across a map quicker or whatever, besides just like directional pads and the hoverboard and whatnot. But I don't really know, because then they could add like gliders and maybe contrails. But yeah, other than that, currently all we have right now is like this stuff, like of course like toys, sprays, emoticons, emotes, we have all that, and then harvesting tools, music, and banner or loading screens. Of course, we have banner icons. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for all of that stuff. And then my daily rewards, currently I'm getting 150 V-Bucks tonight, but currently I have 286 days logged in. Today will be my 287th. So yeah, but also, what else is there? Oh yeah, loading or banner icons. So there's only 2 that I unlocked from Save the World this season, or 3 actually. Because you guys know the challenges where you have to do like insane amounts of stuff to get like loading banner icons. So far, I actually managed to complete one of them. Like I said last season, I said I would probably have the Unspeakable Horrors one done by the end of the season, or Dangers in the Mist, or whatever it's called. And I did complete it about halfway through the season. And I did definitely get a lot farther in the other 4, but I'm still not really anywhere near close to those. But I did get the 20,000 Mist Monsters. I'm probably heading on my way to 35,000 or so by now. But yeah, so of course this one, by the time they even introduced these banner icons, I already had these 2 for opening chests and destroying gnomes. But for whatever reason, all the other banner icons, because it was like for just like a nice amount of gnomes or chests, but then every other banner icon is for just insane amounts of stuff that like nobody does like naturally. I mean, you do it naturally, but unless if you're just flat out there grinding to get it done, like it takes you a long time to do it. Some of those I don't even know if I'll ever get those banner icons. But yeah, so I did get that one, the 3 skulls for killing 20,000 mist monsters. But the other one is for the event Hit the Road. So first off, for completing it in any power level zone with the van not getting touched once, the spotless finish, you got this one, just a little like radio station antenna, which was actually very hard to get. I actually got it about a week into Season X, but me and my friend Newmaster69, we tried quite a few times, but we finally got it. But then for literally the rest of the season until about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I have just been trying with my friend along while he's like my main Save the World friend. But yeah, me, him, and 2 of his friends have just been, we're just trying for like the whole season to get this banner icon, which in my opinion might be the new hardest and rarest banner icon in the game. Because I made a post on my Save the World Instagram account, like all the rarest banner icons, which like the 2 rarest ones that I probably have are this one and this one, and then of course for Battle Royale, of course, like my season level 100 one right there, and then if you want to count it like these ones or whatever, but I don't count those as too rare. But yeah, this one is so hard because these ones with your power level you can only do three different power level zones of Hit the Road. So the lowest I can do is power level 88. So of course it would still be just as hard because even if I did take survivors out of my squads and lower my power level, I would be just as low as a power level as the husks. So then it would still be just as hard. So this banner icon was still pretty hard to get. But this one you had to do in a 140 plus Hit the Road zone, again with no damage. And one of the reasons why it's so hard is because with Frost Knight, first off, the thing was just like it was just sitting there, and you just had to like refill it with blue glow, and you could like build a whole defense around it, and it didn't matter if it got hit, just as long as not all of your teammates died, and as long as like it didn't get destroyed. But this one, like you literally like the van was on the move. The only time you can build around it and defend it is when it stops for like its little pit stop challenges. And other than that, you literally have to defend it on the move. Like you have to babysit the van while it's going, and if it gets hit once, it's instantly done and you already lost. So this one, it was probably the most stressful and intense situation I've been in my whole entire life on Fortnite. Those last like 2 minutes, because I no joke tried this probably over 40 or 50 times, and I failed 7 times with 2 minutes left. Whether it was all of us dying on the last like final wave at the radio station, or the van just getting hit by like a lobber or something. But the other reason it was so hard is because it was a very glitchy game mode. And you had husklings were like the main problem, because every once in a while husklings would just like literally spawn in the passenger seat of the van, and so it took damage. Or if not, there's these little overpass like cliff things that it would drive under, and then like unless if you saw the future and knew that it was going to happen, there was no stopping it, and like husklings would just like spawn and then just suicide dive off of the cliff onto the van. And then if it wasn't for that, sometimes lobbers would pre-spawn before you even, like before the van even fully stops. So like before you can even start building around the van at a pit stop, lobbers would already be throwing stuff at it. So unless if you like the fastest builder on earth, then it would hit it. So yeah. And then even on the one that I finally won, all of a sudden, on the last wave, only one epic mini boss is supposed to spawn. But for whatever reason, on the one that we surprisingly managed to win, two epic mini bosses spawned. They're both smashers. Just thank God neither of them were damage pulls, because we would have lost right there. Because they pretty much tore down the last defenses we had over the van. Because we had it very well defended, but they were both smashers. So eventually they got through everything. Around the van itself. They didn't like really do anything to the trap tunnels, thankfully, or the lobber shield. But yeah, if they're damage pulse, it would have been done because they were on the van. It's just they're not supposed to damage the van. But another reason I lost one time is because the smashers sometimes when they charged, for whatever reason, they would do literally like 1% damage to the van, and no mist monsters or bosses are supposed to do any damage to any objective. And so yeah, it was very annoying when we had 2 minutes left, and then all of a sudden a smasher did 1 damage to the van. So yeah, and I don't even know how we managed to win it. I mean, one of them was no building, like one of the building blocker, so we couldn't build back around the van. We just had to try to defend it as well as we could. And at that time, it was only me and Longmaw still alive. And then there was lobbers like trying to finally getting through the lobber shield. And so there was lobbers crashing down, and somehow, throughout all that, nothing hit it, and I was just so happy. So yeah, honestly, this is my new main Save the World banner icon. It was this one, but this one is honestly, Twine Endurance is really hard to do, like, because you gotta build all the trap tunnels, spend all those materials, and it's really hard to set up for. But once you get it all set up and stuff, as long as they're not changing it like they did this season, then you got it set up, and you can just get some Zeniths and do it whenever you want. Although it does still take 2.5 hours each time. But this one, it's like, I mean, it's limited time, and it's literally just, I mean, it's like the Fortnite Parallel 128 one, but if it was constantly moving and you couldn't let it get hit once. So, like, I mean, yeah, it didn't take 2.5 hours like the Fortnite Parallel 128 one, but it kind of felt like 2.5 hours trying to defend it. So, yeah, so that's it. It's basically the same thing, just with, like, 3 little shocks coming out the top, as you can see. But, yeah, that is pretty much it. So then, of course, like for the things, events, we got this like little timeless one, and then the main one, the long road home, and then hit the road. So yeah, but that is pretty much it there. I don't think there's really anything else to show. So yeah, so that is finally pretty much it for the season end of results video. I don't know if it's as long as last season's. I feel like that might be still the longest one. But this one, either way, is still, honestly, I feel like longer than I was expecting it to be. So yeah, so definitely make sure to subscribe, like and subscribe, so you can stay tuned for the event video. Going to be one of the biggest Fortnite videos on my channel in a while, if not ever. And yeah, definitely very excited for that. So yeah, so sorry I had to kind of make this one earlier, so there's a few things I couldn't like really show fully yet. But yeah, kind of just with Fortnite's weird schedule for whatever reason at the end of the season, kind of had to do that. But yeah, finally, time to end off the season, so stick around if you want to watch the pictures and videos like I always do at the end of these videos. And yeah, until next season, this is the Season X, this has been the Season X end of season results video. Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bye!
Get back on your tip.
Whoa.
Oh, there we go.
Whoa. The Spring Council is just...
No, stop!
Whoa, what's going on here? We're gonna break this space-time continuum.
Switch tips.
Get off
Switch
my tip.
tips.
Get off my tip.
I can't breathe!
No, 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 no. No,
Somebody
no,
just
I
wants to stay on
fell.
my tip.
Who fell? Numbers!
Yes.
Numbers, no.
Oh my, what? Wow.